I'm gonna just wait for y'all to get in here. Good evening. Oh, good afternoon. How y'all doing today? Happy Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna wait for y'all. Mm. I'm gonna wait for y'all to get in here so we can talk about the situation. I'm gonna have to look at this later. Hello, everyone. Somebody said, I'm tired of these stingy dudes. Yeah, I'm not even stingy with my friends, so I can't relate to that. I'm a giver. I'm learning to receive, though. hmm I'm learning how to receive. And I hope more Black women. I hope y'all learning. I hope y'all learning how to receive too. I had to come on here before I went to the pool because I'm like, wait a minute, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. And I'm working at the pool, but I'm like, dang, I don't think I can go live down there. So I had to come on here real quick before I head down to the pool and do some more work. But can we talk about this? Can we talk about the fear mongering that is currently going on? I'm gonna tell y'all this, but before I get into telling y'all, my opinion, let me go ahead and play my intro because I'll be forgetting, especially when I be hopping on here unplanned. Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it. Cause I'm a boss.
I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Okay, we are back. I just wanted to say this. I just came on here because I just have to keep it real with you guys. I need Black people to understand that two things can be right at the same time. So when the news broke that this article that was written about Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce's relationship, I just thought the man was cheap. Okay. And I'm just talking about like Jason Pitts cheap. Frugal but cheap. Like I'm just thinking he hold on to his money. Nothing wrong with that. I do feel like somebody in Kayla's circle is snitching. They talking too much and she need to clean up her circle a little bit. But when I saw the article, I just thought the man was just being cheap, maybe stingy. But I didn't think that it was necessarily like he didn't do for her at all. I didn't believe that. I wasn't buying that. So when I saw the article, I'm like, okay, so I guess he was holding on to his money, real tight. He had a very strong grip on his wallet. Okay, understandable. But one thing that I did notice was all of these red pill manosphere channels running with this story. And it was interesting to me because I'm like, this girl stay getting after the bag. Now, all of you guys know that I am from Kansas City. And so one thing that I would notice about Kayla is that she would be in Kansas City 1 minute, and then the next minute she would be in LA working. I'm sure if you follow her on Instagram, she was always taking flights back and forth from LA to Kansas City to LA to Kansas City. And it was because she was supporting her boyfriend and also making something happen on her own. But it's interesting. It's interesting how these men are aware, right, of this woman's whole entire situation, her whole life, whatever the case may be, but they not smart enough to see when another black man is with a non-black woman and she ain't trying to work on nothing for herself, but she's with this man for his money. I just find that to be interesting to me. I find it to be very, very interesting. Another thing that I want to talk about is I need these men to stop being delusional. I need you to stop being delusional. I need, no, I don't think Kayla is from Kansas City. I don't think she's from Kansas City. She may be, she may not be. I'm not sure. Y'all gonna have to answer that in the comment section. But I do know that she comes from a really good family, close-knit family. She's college educated. When she met Travis Kelce, she was a sports reporter. So it's not like she's some, jump off from, she had a lot going on for herself. She has a lot going on for herself. She's making more money than some of these men that's making videos about her. So I'm confused. And then another thing that I want to talk about is how they have been broken up for a while and her lifestyle has not changed. Do you not understand that some of these Black pro athletes, right, be out here dating these non-Black women? Do you not understand that a lot of them, their whole lifestyle would change if that man was to drop her? Come on. All of this situation to me is just fear-mongering. They do not want Black women to divest. The reason why I don't mind having these conversations is because the mentality that I have, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it, when I feel I want to do it, when I want to do it, because that's what I want to do. I don't care how many videos these men create trying to manipulate, try to fear-monger Black women into not dating out. Like, do you not understand that I don't give a damn? They really be wasting their time. And then they be showing their true colors while doing it, because I'm just like, why do you care? It's not your money. I don't understand. Why do you care? It's nothing but jealousy. That's exactly what it is. This is why I'm making this video today. I need Black women to understand. It's almost like you're dealing with a homegirl. That's how they act. Like you're dealing with a homegirl, like a friend of yours. And she's like planting these seeds in your head, trying to get you to doubt yourself because she's jealous of what you got going on for yourself. That is what is currently happening, y'all. I don't mind talking about how, because I said two things can be right at the same time. I don't mind talking about how some of these white men are dusty. I don't mind talking about how some of these Brads and Chads got mental health issues, and so they're going around doing mass shootings and things like that, because two things can be right at the same time. But we're not going to ignore the fact that we live in a community with a group of men that are the least educated and the least employed. We're not going to deny the fact that Black women have a better chance at having a healthy, stable, financially stable relationship by opening up their options. This is why I don't mind having these conversations, because at the end of the day, two things can be right at the same time. And I understand that with my mindset, which is balanced, I'm going to still do what I need to do for myself. And that's it. I don't know why Black women are like, the manosphere. Who cares? Who cares? Do y'all not see them right now? I mean, I'm going to still do what I want to do. I'm going to need y'all to have, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it, because that's what I want to do mentality. Y'all cannot allow these men to come in your headspace. They should not be up here. They should not be up here at all. They should be an afterthought. They should be in the past. It's like divesting is doing what is best for you, and you don't give a damn what nobody got to say about it. Okay? We still gonna take that solo trip, even though some women have had bad experiences. Are you just gonna stop living your life or stop trying to live your best life just because there are things that are happening in the world? It is to place fear in you so that you will remain stuck and stagnant and you lack growth in this energy. So at the end of the day, we just not gonna I'm not buying it. I'm just not buying what you're selling, and you're gonna need to try that with somebody else. This is why I don't mind having these conversations, because we can deal with the truth, we can deal with the facts. There are dusty Brads and Chads out here, and I'ma still leave my options open. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. We gonna still leave our options open. We still be out dating Brads and Chads, even though we are aware that some of them are dusty. Like, what? Come on now. I need somebody to explain that to me. I need somebody to explain that to me. You need to do for you, and you should not care what everybody else got to say about it. You should, because if I wasn't doing for me, I wouldn't even be doing YouTube right now. I don't know what I would be doing. I'd probably be pushing some desk paperwork at a job that I don't like, because I'm trying to appeal to what others want of me. I'm trying to do what my family wants me to do. You need to learn how to do what is best for you and just ignore what everybody else got to say about it and do what you need to do for yourself. Because I'm telling you, like, to be honest, I mean, if you were to listen to all of these people, what life would you live? What life would that be? What would it look like if you out here listening to everybody? You got to understand that with everything in this world, everything, it doesn't even matter if you was to go to the grocery store, something bad could happen. That is life. Remember, two things can be right at the same time. So these men can do this fear-mongering tactic manipulation that they're trying to do, but at the end of the day, it's not going to stop me, and it certainly should not stop you from doing what you need to do for yourself. Deal with the truth, deal with the reality of certain things, but at the end of the day, it should not stop you from living your life. That's crazy. No, thank you. She said the show don't stop. It surely ain't. Just like Beyonce, when she fell off that stage and she got right back up and started moving again. That is the mindset that you need to have. That is the mindset you need to have, y'all. I'm out here styling and profiling. We in the streets this summer, period. Okay, that's what we on. These men, they look desperate. They looking desperate out here. They're looking desperate. And the reason why, you guys, you need to open up your options. I don't tell you to open up your options because white men are magically better. I'm never going to tell you that, because they're not. I think when it comes to men, they have one thing in common, and that is misogyny, because we live in a world, right, that allows them to be misogynistic and sexist, because we live in a man's world, correct? Okay. So every it doesn't matter what race of man that you get out here and date, they're going to have a little bit of misogyny. Now, this is the kicker. You have to vet them to see, is it extreme? Is it extreme to where I'm oppressed? Or is it actually in a way to where it benefits me, like he's more traditional, right? If that's what you want, if that's what you into, you just need to figure out if it's negative or if it benefits you. But they all have it. Now, with me saying that, I do feel like you have a better chance getting what you want out of life in a healthy manner, in a manner where you're appreciated, you're taken care of financially, emotionally. They be forgetting that part in our community, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. When's the last time these men went to church? When's the last time you talked to God, sir? It seemed like you ain't talked to him in a while. So I feel like you have a better chance at finding these things outside of our community. It's just facts. I mean, they can get mad all day. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You just gonna have to vet every man the same. Nobody gets a pass. I don't care how much money they make. Some of y'all be trying to give these men a pass just because they're a high earner. I'm like, okay, he make money, and is he emotionally stable? Is he mentally stable? Because those things matter too. Remember when I said two things can be right at the same time? I need Black people to understand that. Two things can be right at the same time. They care more about divesting than we do. They created the lane. We just mirroring the actions. That's it. Black men need to understand you created this. We're just mirroring your actions. That is it. That is all. Just like this man. Let me go ahead and pull it up because I got time. This man that went viral, and he was talking about how why is it that women will bend over backwards for a man that's broke, but will give a man that has money a hard time? I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let me pull it up. Because they're not going to like what I have to say. If you follow me on Instagram, then you saw my video. But I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to play the original. Because I be having fun on Instagram. I ain't going to lie. I be having fun. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Ooh. Okay, let me go back. Let me share my screen real quick. Oh, you guys, I just learned all about how Black men were outside the home prior. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but I did not know because I saw an article from New York Times that was time stamped in, I think it was 1965. And this is when welfare became a thing. And I've been wanting to talk about this. They were already out the home. The article read that a quarter of Black families with children were being led by women. This was before welfare came into play. President Johnson at the time saw that Black women, Black families were struggling because they were headed by women, okay? And at the time, this is how Black women were able to get benefits with welfare. At the time, women in general were making like significantly less than men. And so I'm gonna have to keep it real with you. Oh, Cynthia did a live stream. When did she do a live stream? I'm gonna have to check it out. If she did it, then I'm not gonna talk about it. But because I started looking into, I don't know how I got it. I think I was watching I think I was reading a report that was done on Black families, and then it led me down a rabbit hole, and then somehow I got on this article about how Black men were already out the homes. I did not know that. Okay. And then this was in 1965, you guys. So I'm like, heroin was not on the streets yet. Because you know how they like to be like, they like to use excuses like heroin or the crack epidemic or something like that. But like heroin wasn't on the streets yet, and neither was crack. So I'm sitting here, I'm doing the research and stuff, and I'm just like, so if heroin wasn't on the street, if crack wasn't created yet, where the hell was they at? Where they wasn't at home. So I just want to know what was they doing? Where was they at? What was they doing? Because I'm like, if you wasn't out on the street doing drugs, then what were you doing? I want to know where they were at. I did not know that. It's crazy. So President Johnson saw that this was a growing issue within the Black community. This was in 1965. And if you know anything about the economy, in order to keep it afloat, right, you have to put money in it. Well, Black women, the Black community, because we weren't out here giving out free labor, it was imperative that we were able to contribute to society. And unfortunately, we were being forced to contribute in the way that a man would contribute if he led his household. So he had to create welfare for us. Or, well, welfare was already created, but it was for widows, women that lost their husband or whatever the case may be from war or something like that. And so it was created for widows, but it was still not available to women that had an absent husband that just, I guess, decided to say, oh, this is too much for me, to hell with this, I'm gonna just abandon my family. They didn't create welfare for those type of women. But eventually President Johnson started creating welfare for those type of women, which unfortunately that was a quarter. And this is just New York Times. I don't think the article was written for the US. I think it was just for New York City. A quarter. That's a lot, y'all. So I started looking into it more. Somebody said they was chasing Becky. Stop it. I am done. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they was at. I don't know where these Black men were, but I'm looking at the timeline and I'm like, heroin was not a thing, and there was what were they doing? Where were they at? They wasn't working. What was they doing? And so I started looking more into it. So the reason why the government stepped in, it wasn't because it wasn't because they were trying to help us. It really was because in order to keep the white man in the dominant role, the economy cannot crash. And the way that these men were the way they were abandoning their responsibilities, it was growing into a point of it could have actually crashed the economy. That's why history repeats itself. That's why that article that I posted to my community tab, that's why when I posted it to my community tab about how Black men are costing the economy, what is it, 50 billion? Let me look it up. I think it's $50 billion. They still costing the economy till this day. I think that's how I ended up looking into this, because I'm like, yeah, they cost the economy $50 billion every year because they have the highest unemployment rate. So that's why I'm saying, like, this has been going on for decades. I just want to know where were they at, y'all? Like, I really be sitting here like thinking, I'm like, they weren't strung out on drugs. Then what were they doing? I need somebody to answer that for me. So history repeats itself. And so I started looking into that and I'm like, wow, that's actually really, really sad. It's very sad. And so President Johnson at that time in 1965 decided to include Black women that were abandoned by their men. He included them with the benefits of welfare. And so after that situation, or during that timeline, it really was to keep the white men in power. It really wasn't about Black women. But Black men to this day will feel like, oh, that was about, he favors Black women over Black men. No, it was because Black women have saved the economy. I don't know how many times, but we'll never get our flowers for that. Because I started reading up on that too. We'll never get our flowers for how we have saved the economy over and over again without the help of our men. We will never get our flowers for that. And I need Black women to understand that your bloodline, you have done that a few times. So, and the reason why it was becoming costly is because we as Black people, we were no longer free labor. They couldn't profit off of us like a slave. So we had to fuel the economy. We had to make up for that. And unfortunately, our men, they left us hanging. So we had to get it on our own. We still getting it on our own, a lot of us. Oh yeah, the hair industry. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But let me get into this video. We'll never get our flowers. But I wouldn't hold your breath. Give yourself some flowers. Go buy yourself some flowers today. Okay, so this man went viral because he said man wants to know, why do women bend over backwards for broke men but give men who got their life together a hard time? So let's see what he has to say.
Yo. I got a question for the women. This is what I want to know. Why is it that when you meet a...
Okay, there's someone in the chat box that's saying I'm spreading false information. I will go ahead and link the source, the article, the news article, because this information wasn't rewritten. It was a newspaper article that was written in 1965. Okay, so I would like to see how I would like to see how you guys are going to try to manipulate that article. And if you look at the grammar, you can tell it was written in 1965. But I'll make sure to put a source down below that you can have for reference for those that need it. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull that up right now, because I don't like it when people call me a liar. I keep receipts. That's something that we do over here. So I took a news article. It wasn't a newspaper article. It wasn't an article that was rewritten and somebody was giving their opinion. Like, this was actually New York Times news article, and it said verbatim what I told you. Black women, black families. It said black families with children, a quarter of them were being led by women. That is what it said. That is what it said. I did not make that up. I read it for... Hold on, let me just... I like doing this though. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the chat box. All right. Let's get back to what he has to say. Let me start it over.
Yo. I got a question for the women. This is what I want to know. Why is it that we meet a man, he ain't got shit, he got no car, ain't got no job, ain't got his own place? Why do you women bend over backwards, go out your way to take care of that man? But when you meet someone who got his shit together, got a car, got a crib, got a good job, he's not rich, but he can sustain himself. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing you do to that man is say, let me have, let me hold something. But that dude who ain't got shit, you would empty your bank account to take care of him. Yo. I got a question for the women. This is what I want to know. Why is it that when you meet a man who ain't got shit, ain't got no car, ain't no job, and ain't got his own place, why do you women bend over backwards, go out your way to take care of that man? But when you meet someone who got his shit together, got a car, got a crib, got a good job. He's not rich, but he can sustain himself. You know what I'm saying? But the first thing you do to that man is say, let me have, let me hold something. But that dude who ain't got shit, you would empty your bank account to take care of him. Yo, I got a question for the women. This is
Okay, so first of all, I want to address this because this really bothers me like a lot. I don't understand why men who, I mean, I'm assuming you would want better for yourself, right? Like, I don't understand why Black men want to be rewarded for having a place to stay, a car, and a job. Why wouldn't you want those things for yourself? It's almost like they want to be rewarded, or they want certain things handed to them from women. They want access to your body. They want access to your purse. They want access to your home. They want access to your car. And then they feel like they should be, and it's because they feel like they should be rewarded for having these things. Like, you're an adult, you're an American citizen. If you don't have these things, you're on the street. So I don't understand why is it normal, or they're trying to normalize this in the Black community, that if a Black man has a job, a car, and a place to stay, that he should be rewarded. Where I come from, the only way that you could be rewarded or receive some type of recognition is you would have to achieve higher things than the standard. You don't get a participation ribbon or medal. You actually have to achieve higher, greater things in order to be recognized or receive some type of recognition. You're over here doing the same thing that any self-sufficient adult should be doing. It's very bare. It's very minimum. I don't understand why these men in our community carry themselves in this manner and feel like they should receive some type of award, recognition, special treatment. It don't make sense. And y'all have to listen. We got to take some accountability as Black women, because the reason why these men walk around like the way that they do for doing bare minimum things, achieving bare minimum things, is because you guys keep praising them for bare minimum. I'm going to show you. This is a prime example. This is a prime example right here. This woman right here. I know y'all saw it.
Ladies, I have to share with you. I think I may have had the best pickup line ever used on me tonight. Girl, I was stunned. I'm quick with it, so I love when a man stuns me. I saw this man when I walked in the room because he had that laid back demeanor, like he was sitting back like a shark, scoping the room. I really, really like that. He waited until he was getting ready to leave, or pretending to leave. He came up to me and said, before I leave here tonight, I just have to know your name. I have to meet you. And I was like, who, me? He looked at me straight in my face and said, stop. You know, the moment you entered this room, there was nobody here but you. Girl! I said, sir, okay. Ladies, I have to share with you. I think I may have had the best pickup line ever used on me tonight. Girl, I was stunned. I'm quick with it, so I love when a man stuns me. I saw this man when I walked in the room because he had that laid back demeanor, like he was sitting back like a shark, scoping the room. I really, really like that. He waited until he was getting ready to leave, or pretending to leave. He came up to me and said, before I leave here tonight, I just have to know your name. I have to meet you. And I was like, who, me? He looked at me straight in my face and said, stop. You know, the moment you entered this room, there was nobody here but you. Girl! I said, sir, okay. Ladies, I
That's us, y'all. I'm embarrassed. That's like taking a friend somewhere and she don't know how to act because she around men with money. That's why you got to be careful about the type of friends you bring around certain social groups and men of status. She don't know how to act because she around men with money. She just don't know how to act. Like, girl, what? Come on, we got to do better. And then she would be mad, right? Because I'm gonna tell you, what he did was nothing but game. It was nothing but game. He just ran game on her and she ate it up. I want more for us, y'all. I do. I really do. I want more for us. I want more for us. She'd be mad if he did the same thing but bought another woman just a drink. She would be mad. She would feel some type of way. But I'm like, girl, if you're easily impressed, you're easily to woo, which means you're probably going to settle for bare minimum treatment. Oh my God. I've had a stranger buy me flowers, a whole bouquet of flowers because he was trying to holler at me. I don't understand. Like that's crazy to me. And no, it's not always about what men will do for you. It's nice to see a man put in effort to woo you. Because I was just at the grocery store. Y'all. And this older man was saying, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so gorgeous." Right? Okay. And I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "That was really sweet. Thank you." You know? Then I just go on about my day. He was on the other aisle giving the same game to this other woman. And I'm like, see, this is what I be talking about. And he said the same thing to her in the same way, same setting, da. So sometimes we women, we like to see men put in real effort to woo you, to get your attention. I don't understand what's wrong with that. What is wrong with that? That's why I got the post today. Let's just keep going because I just be seeing it. Oh, I don't think I saved it. Oh, it may be on my story. Hold on, let me go to my story. I'm like, dang, it's on here? Dang, my stories be long. I know people that be following me. I know they be like, why your stories gotta be so long? Just bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna get through it. Let me get to it. But it's gonna tie in with this this conversation. Dang, did I miss it? Oh, here it is. Okay. It says, wait. Let me go back. It says, may the best WYA text win this weekend. So you know what that means. That means that they banking on a WYA text to help them, I don't know, somehow slide in and get in with minimum effort. I'm like, y'all, for them to make a meme like that, that means there's some truth to it. I know y'all don't respond to these men that be out here sending y'all WYA texts. I hope y'all not that easy. I've had men do it and I just look at the message like, open it because I want them to know I saw it and not respond. I'm not about to respond to you. That minimum effort. That is minimum. That's not even minimum effort. And then knowing how they move and how they operate, they done sent that same generic text to probably 10 other women. I'm not responding to that. I got better things to do with my time. I'm not responding to that. So I need men to understand that it's not about you spending money. It's about real effort to show that you actually care. That's it. It's not about the money. And that's why this whole Kayla situation with Travis Kelce and Kayla Nicole, the reason why it was just not giving what it was supposed to give, because it really lacked effort. You've been in a relationship with a man for 5 years and he don't want to invest in the relationship. Who wants to be with a man like that? Nobody. It's about low effort. So, black women, I'm gonna need you to raise the bar. I'm gonna need you to raise the bar and not be easily impressed, because I'm telling you, a lot of these men be rehearsing and be in the mirror talking to themselves, trying to, prepare them for how they want to say certain things to you, and you eating it up. I want more for you. I want better for you. So I'm gonna tell you like that. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. I'm gonna tell you, nah, that ain't it. I'm gonna need you to no. You want a man that puts in real effort. There's a girl in the comment section. Thank you guys for the super chat. There's a girl in the comment section that said Kayla also didn't have standards and boundaries. What do you feel? What standards and boundaries do you think she lacked? I'm just interested in seeing what you guys have to say about that. What standards do you think, what boundaries do you think she lacked? If you want to come up here and talk, I wouldn't mind letting, because I'm tired of talking. Let me go ahead. If you want to hear and talk, let me go ahead and paste the link. What boundaries and standards do you think she lacked? You guys, I actually haven't been watching Cynthia G. But if she said it first, she said it first. Like, y'all, the information is out here. If she said it first, she said it first. I don't know why y'all do that. It don't matter. If she said it first, she said it first. But the information is definitely out here. The reason why I haven't been watching Cynthia G's content is because whenever you watch, I don't like watching other content creators in general. If you come to my platform to get my commentary, I don't want to sound like them. I don't want to have their same talking points. I don't want to sound like them. If Cynthia G said it first, then she said it first. Give credit where it's due. But I came to the realization based off of my research, based off of the article that I read. You guys should look into it. Now, is it the same article that Cynthia G said? I don't know. She didn't require him to invest in her. Simple. Okay, but this is another thing, because this is what all men want to know. All men want to know, what type of investment are women looking for? And I also need these men I need them to stop being delusional, because like y'all act like Kayla can't get another man or something like that. The girl is beautiful. Thanks to her ex, she was introduced to a new status, a new social circle. She'll be able to get a new man in no time. Like, are we really doing that? I'm pretty sure she got men in her DMs right now. And I tell men this all the time. I'm like, if you're not doing right by the girl that you're in a relationship with, just know one of your homeboys is just waiting for you to mess up. I don't even know why y'all do that. And to the women that are out here, y'all need to be a little more honest about how some of their friends be really feeling about you on the low. There was this one athlete that I was dating, and I don't know if his teammates knew about it, but like his teammates were in my DMs trying to holler at me while I was dealing with him. Like, y'all really don't understand how this really works. I see. Like, we really be sparing these men's egos. Like, if I'm telling you, I know for a fact one of his teammates wants to, he waiting to slide in them DMs. Please stop. I can't stand that. Y'all, and women, you need to be honest, because they say that, oh, women don't know how to handle honesty from a man. Y'all don't know how to handle honesty from us women. You don't. You don't. Because your little friend been staring at me. He was trying to holler at me before you did, but The timelines, timing is everything. You got to me before he did, but he's still looking at me in the same way that he was looking at me before you stepped to me. Come on, for real? Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I told y'all. They are delusional. These men are delusional. They say women are delusional. You men are just as delusional, if not more delusional. Like, come on. That's why y'all need to start being honest with them. Stop lying about orgasms. If he didn't give you an orgasm, you need to actually tell him the truth. He didn't give you an orgasm. It is what it is. This is why we have men on the internet right now. The man that I was just talking about, since nobody wants to call in, I'm gonna just keep talking. Where was that video at? Is it this man? It must be further down. Oh my God, did I misplace it? What is going on? I'm gonna just I just don't want to play it. Okay. We have a caller. Hold on, let me get out what I was about to say real quick, and then I'm gonna add you to the live. But this video right here of this complaining about how women will bend over backwards for a broke man, the same way men do. Men bend over backwards for women that don't have nothing going on for themselves. They may have an OnlyFans or an Instagram account, but this man is funding her lifestyle versus a woman that's college educated. She goes to work every day, hustling to where she wants to be in life, and it is of success, right? You look right over her for the girl that ain't got nothing really going on for herself, but you like what you see, so you willing to fund her lifestyle. Is that correct? So don't get mad because women are out here doing the same thing that y'all been doing for generations, decades. So I don't understand that. Like, nah, we're not about to do that. So it's like you're upset that women are doing what you're doing. What did I tell y'all? I said anytime that you get out here and you start mirroring the actions of a man, and he had no problem treating you the way that he's been treating you, and now you treating him the way that he's been treating you, all of a sudden you his enemy. They kill me with that. They don't like it when you mirror their actions. So that tells me everything that I need to know. I'm over here mirroring your actions, and you over here feeling like I'm your biggest enemy. And then I'm not done yet. They expect for you to put up and endure with what they putting you through, but they can't even handle it for 5 minutes. That's why this man is on the internet complaining right now. Remember when I said I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it because that's what I want to do? This is why. Situations like this. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, you said she. I was talking about the girl you were asking to come on. No shade. No. You're okay. I just don't, y'all. The reason why I said that is because content creators, okay? And I'm not saying it's Cynthia, but content creators in this space, Black content creators, they are very sensitive when they feel like somebody done took their talking point. Now, me, I don't be tripping about it like that. And the reason I don't be tripping about it is because the Black community hasn't grown in decades. So of course we're all going to come to the same conclusion at some point, and we may be sounding like each other. We may sound like we all in the same echo chamber or something like that. But like, listen, I have no problem telling this content creator, you said it first, you did it first, whatever the case may be. I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. Okay. I'm just that type of person. So if she said it first, she said it first. It is what it is. It's not that big of a deal to me. Okay. Let me go ahead and add a caller on here. Hello, sis. How are you doing today?
Am I on?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Wait a minute. What happened?
Hi, Yoni.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Boundaries and standards, right? Yeah. I think that collectively as Black women, we're not raised to have standards and boundaries. We we are taught that marriage is the pursuit, but it's not quality relationships that we are finding ourselves getting into. And our grandmothers and mothers, they basically were in these toxic relationships and we witnessed it. So obviously we went out and got into some of the same toxic kind of relationships that didn't involve boundaries and standards, because they're just not taught collectively within our community, I don't think. I think a lot of your earlier videos that geared more towards healing yourself, counseling, uh, getting to know yourself and treating yourself and building up your self-esteem and confidence and things like that. I think that a lot of Black women really need to focus on that rather than going out here on dates and dating. A lot of Black women individually are just not in the mindset, a healthy enough mindset to be out here talking about dating. And I think it really shows in this. What's her name? I really don't know her name.
Is it YouTuber?
The girl from the article. Years of basic. And he dragged her through, because I know he took her up and through there for that 6 years. He's more than likely, when he gets into the next, he's definitely going to compare whatever she was willing to put up with to what he feels like she felt. You know,
Yep. Let me try one more thing. Because I want to ask you this question. Is the sound back, y'all? That was so random.
I can hear you just fine.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Was the sound working at first? See,
Yes.
I don't understand it. Hold on, let me try something else. Exit the live and come back and the audio is still messed up. Okay, it's still messed up. Dang, I wonder if they had heard what you had to say. Let me just try the default. Okay, can you guys hear us now? Okay, they said the guest sounded choppy, so it wasn't me. Can you guys hear me though? Oh my God, that is just a mess. Okay, did you guys hear what she said? Can you repeat what you said? Well, just the last part, the last bit.
About his father.
Well, no.
Toxic masculinity.
Well, originally, okay, so they're saying it's your connection.
Hold on a second. I have my Bluetooth in. I'm gonna disconnect.
Oh, okay. That could be the reason why it's staticky. Okay, so y'all can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Now let me see if they can hear you first. Can you guys
Is that
hear
better,
her?
everybody?
Okay, testing 1 2 1 2. Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. Now can you guys hear us both? Let's wait to see what they have to say. This is this is a mess. Somebody's saying, okay, it may be your connection. Did you remove
My
your
connection.
Bluetooth?
Yes, I did.
It's still staticky. Let me try a different caller and see if I get the same issue. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, thank you. Hello, Emma.
Hi, how are
Oh, I like
you?
to see you in good spirits.
Thank you. I've been praying a lot lately, so I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I wanted to add to the conversation by saying, you know, boundaries, limitations, requirements are very important for us, especially as Black women. So, if you allow me, I will take an example from, my life.
Okay.
Like, um, so I'm working at this job, right? Most of my colleagues are Black women. Like 90% of my colleagues are Black women. So we were having lunch and we were talking about everything and anything. And suddenly it came to the topic of, um, having a boyfriend, having a husband, having children.
Mm-hmm.
And I told them, when it comes to me, if I don't have financial stability, if I don't have a house, I don't have a car, and my husband doesn't have money, it is out of the question that I settle with him and have a child. You know,
Ooh.
because I find it important because it's something that in my family it happened and they, created a whole lot of mess. And it's not something that I want for myself. And they were, I mean, not downgrading me, but, mocking me a little bit, saying that, oh, you're going to see, you're going to meet someone with a good dick and you're going to be all right. And I was like, and the Black woman, they were telling me that. They were like, okay, but, sometimes you
Black
have
women
to.
in your family?
No, not in my family, but my colleagues.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
They were saying that, for example, you're going to be with a man and you're going to, build him up so that he could be at your level and then you could move on together. And I was like, absolutely not.
Right. That's too much work.
Absolutely not. Because, you know, for me, I'm asking for my man to be financially stable, as you defined it, being able to pay for extra and still being able to pay for your bills and having savings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for him to think about investments, to think about
Mm-hmm.
having a house, for me to be with him, because we're going to, manage a family together. I need him to be at my level and I need to be at a good level too.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it crazy that they didn't agree with me that somehow a man needed to be, stable, him too.
Right.
Um,
What is
and
stable to you though?
stable to me is, it's really linked to finance and emotion.
Mm.
It means, as you defined it, financially, you are able to pay your bills, you are able to save and invest, you are able to pay for extracurricular activities, whatever it is. It also means that emotionally, you are able to express your emotions. You are able to take care of yourself and take care of other people that are close to you that you care about. You know when to say no, you know how to discuss and things like that. It's important that you're stable like that. So this is the kind of person I want to engage with.
Mm.
And this is my requirements. It's not only a requirement for him, it's a requirement for me. Uh, so this is why I didn't understand when I told them that. They were like, you're too strict, or you are asking for too much. You know, you're going to change your mind when you're going to fall in love. And it's kind of crazy for me that you cannot associate falling in love and having, you know, principles and requirements.
Right. And you guys, for those that don't know, she is in Paris. Okay. I feel like that needs to be known because
Yeah,
people feel like this is just an American issue. It's not. It's not.
yeah, it's
That's what's
everywhere.
so sad.
It's
She gets
everywhere.
it. Yes, she gets it.
So
But
yeah,
yeah, like she gets it.
I find it very sad because the way they were talking to me, I found that they were spewing, or how to say, like throwing to me some you know, negative energy, because I was trying to defend myself, and I was ill, and I was alone, defending this stance, and they were
Mhm.
like, "No, you're gonna change your mind. You're too young," and blah blah and blah blah. And one even said that, you know, she too wanted to be more ambitious and having requirements, but she settled down because, you know, she wanted to have a child now to be able to, you know, grow with them and things like that. And I was like, sure, okay, but you are not me.
Right.
And
Were these women older than you?
yep,
I
they
told
are.
y'all. I said y'all got to be careful taking advice from that older generation. I'm not saying that they all like that, but a lot of them are, and so they're grooming you to be next runner up, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, they think they always have the best intentions, you know. I don't want to say that they're stupid. They really are caring women. I really do appreciate my colleagues. But when it comes to these, well, to these subjects, I feel like I'm not going to align with them on that. And you know, I'm just starting my journey, and for me, for my future to be the best possible, I need to think right now about this kind of requirements, because then it allows me, when I go, for example, outside and I meet new people, it allows me to, you know, weed out people that I'm not going to build or grow with, you know. So
Right.
yeah,
No.
that's what I wanted to say.
And that's it's about growth. Like
Yeah,
people make it about like money and things, but really it's about growth. You want, if you're on your stuff financially, like you're on top of your stuff financially, you want
mm,
someone that's on their stuff on top of their stuff financially,
yeah,
so you guys can grow together. That's what it's
together.
really about. It's not
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this generation of men are lost and we are expected to be led by them, but it just doesn't seem like that's a smart idea. Unless you come across the man that, you know, is aware that these are just basic necessities in order for you to live a healthy lifestyle. It's
yeah,
about a healthy lifestyle.
about that, definitely. Um, these are things that for me, it's a no-brainer, you know. When you hear that you need money for this life, we are in a capitalist society. You need money and investment. You need a house, you need a car. When you are in Paris, maybe a little less, because you know there's a train and a whole lot of others transportation, but you need a car to move around.
Right.
um, and you need a house. you I'm not going to live with my parent forever. I need my place. I need my space where I'm
Right.
going to be creative and all that. You know, I'm still very young, but I have a goal. And then when I'm going to get married one day, I want my kids to have something. I want
Right.
to have a legacy. I want to give a legacy, you know. So I'm not
Ooh, you
going
want
in
to
there.
give a legacy.
Exactly. So I'm not going to stay here and have and be like with a man who isn't mature enough on these topics
Mm.
as we need to be. So yeah,
Okay.
that's all I
Okay.
can say.
Well, thank you, Emma.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad everything is looking up for you.
Yeah,
I'm always excited to talk to you.
I will see you very soon. Goodbye. Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Emma, she reminds me of my younger self, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. A lot of y'all do. Y'all remind me of my younger self. Okay, let's move on. Hopefully, this time the connection is better. Is it Yasmina? I think you're I think you're mute. Somebody said a Dusty with a French accent. No. Thank you for the super chat. I'm done with y'all. Yes, she's very mature and intelligent for sure. Yeah, I can't. Yasmin, are you mute? It's saying that you are mute. Okay, well, okay. I see you're unmute now, but we still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna have
Can
to
you
move
hear me
on.
now?
Oh, wait a minute. We can, but let me see if your connection is well. Just say testing 1 2 1 2.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you guys hear her?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys.
Hold on. I'm looking to see. It may be lagging a little bit. Okay. They can hear you. They can hear you. Okay. I hope you can like repeat your talking points that you had earlier because they were really good, and I'm mad they missed out on that.
Me too. I hate that they missed out on the things that I said. But my microphone was having technical difficulties. I did take off the Bluetooth. I was on my iPhone.
Oh, okay.
And I turned off the iPhone and I logged on to my iPad. So I'm hoping that the sound quality is a lot better you know, if they can
They're
all
saying
hear
it's
me. Can
better.
everybody hear me? Okay, great. Yeah, I agree with everything the last caller was saying. She just really hit the nail right on the head. And I just think that the older generation of women, um, my grandmother, she kind of did lean towards that keep hope alive vibe. Um, My mom, not so much. Absolutely not. She,
Ooh.
if you could not afford to provide, you were not around.
Mm.
You were literally speaking to the next guy on your way to work. It was crazy. I mean, that I don't. In retrospect, looking back at that, I'm grateful because unlike a lot of us, I did have an incentive to be more attracted to the more traditional man, the
Mm-hmm.
provider,
Mm-hmm.
instead of the exact opposite, the polar opposite, um, which is really sad for most of us that, we grow up, we look at those relationships that are extremely toxic and we're taught, oh, that's okay. You need to support your man. You need to stand by your man. You need to do whatever it is that he needs for you to do for you to be a good woman. But if being a good woman means basically like torturously dragging out
They're asking you to
ceremonies.
speak. Can you speak more into the mic because it's kind of hard hearing,
Oh, okay.
or talk louder?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if being a good woman means that you need to completely exhaust yourself in every way possible and just completely give all of yourself to the idea of the pursuit of a healthy relationship, when in reality that's not what you're participating in. You're actually just creating an environment for dysfunction. Basically,
Mm.
you're gonna have like, mental health issues. You're not gonna have the confidence you should, you know because you're gonna think that you need that from this man, that he's supposed to give that to you, but in reality this is something you should be giving to yourself.
This is my thing. I don't understand why we as a Black community are even having these debates because It's the standard. Like, men are supposed to be providers, and it's just like,
Yeah.
why are we even having these debates? And I feel like this is why the Black community as a whole is so delayed, because we can't even get the basics down. We can't even get the standards down. We struggle with meeting the standard. The standard is required of everyone, to the point it keeps us in this lackluster, because other communities, they already got the standard down, and so they're working on building on top of that to ensure that their community is growing, flourishing, and is prospering and moving forward at a level that is high achieving, versus us, we're still on the basics. We're like still on general studies. And that's the thing that I don't understand.
I agree. It's really sad, and I think that most. Well, I'm not gonna say.
Your
Well, yeah,
mic is
I'm
staticky.
Is that better?
No, it's still staticky. I'm not sure why.
Is that better?
No, it's choppy again. It's choppy. I'm not sure why either. No, let me try a different caller.
Okay.
Hello. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I'm so excited. I just adore you. You guys have been so eye-opening for a lot of us older millennials. I watch you and Cynthia G, and I'm around her age, but I gotta say, I just admire how you're thinking at such a different level for your age than a lot of us were. That being said, I'm from the South. You're welcome. I'm from the South, and let me tell y'all, when it comes to that one guy, the white guy, I don't know what his name is, Kayla, whatever.
Travis.
One thing I know, when they look like that, when white men present themselves like that, just know you're gonna get the same black man. I grew up in the South, and I'm talking in the 90s, okay? In the early 2000s. So when you, from what I know, when a white guy presents himself in that way, just for those women who are opening up their options, it's different as if you started dating and then maybe, you kind of like, gave him a little zhazhazhoom like Sierra did for Russell, right? That's a bit different. But when he starts off, just comes off the bat presenting himself in that manner, you're getting the same one on everything. It's not changing. You're even going to get the same one to the sense that he's going to likely, use you. Now, that's saying that all these allegations are true or all this stuff is true. He'll use you and do the 50-50 thing and then turn around and go to Becky and them and put them in $1 million house. Like literally the same black man. It is. So I love how, you and Cynthia are always saying heal. Heal first. Because if you take that mentality anywhere, you're going to attract that. Because truth be told, I mean, let's just be real. If you're dating somebody in the NBA, the NFL, any of these sports teams, the assumption is that even though if you're not there for a bag, you're getting a bag. You're getting a benefit of some sort. Okay. Because it's just too much money for you not to be getting any type of benefit.
Right.
So if he's out here pulling those, how do I say this? I know I've only seen that I've seen that same behavior in caller before. And it was a young black man. And he was, and it was a young black woman that was paying the bill.
Yeah. Yeah.
They didn't,
Yeah.
let me tell you, you guys want to know the truth? They pay the bill. They do this whole, I thought it was a joke, right? So I was on vacation and I'm at the bar, and I'm much older than these guys. They're in their 20s, so I'm not interested. I'm already having my own cocktail. And I'm talking to the guys. They're trying to talk to me. And first of all, they're with what you would call a preference, but she's still, I guess she's black, a young black girl, but you know, the BBLs, the whole situation.
The aesthetic.
Beautiful girl, though. I mean, beautiful girl. And I'm sitting there, and him and his friend, they're talking to me, but I'm not trying to talk to y'all like that. I'm big sis, okay?
Right.
Can we make some like business deals more than anything? Like, how can I help you business-wise? Anyways, I noticed that she took out her card and paid. When I tell you I fell out, I was like, wait a minute. You said you played for the what? Because I know I heard that right. And I knew it to be correct because some teammates came by. So I know I'm not crazy. And this happened maybe 2 months ago. Okay. And I'm like, this can't be happening. So I'm gonna tell you their mindset. And this guy probably has the same one. I asked the guy when they were around, right? So they viewed me. Now, mind you, I'm not the so-called preference, right? But they're talking to me like, I'm just having normal conversations with them. We started talking about how they should live their lives as young men who've come into money. They started asking me questions, mostly because of my career, my background. And so we're talking, we're chatting, and then this young gentleman starts to tell me that how he just built a house in the area. Mind you, we're in a hotel. Previously, I heard them say that she was going to the hotel room. They got a hotel room for her. And I'm thinking to myself, but you have a house in this area. You're showing me pictures of the house, and she's sitting right there. And he's like, yeah, when you're back in town, you guys should come out and visit, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So then I was curious. Girl, I was curious because at this point, I'm like, there's this beautiful woman. You guys are clearly, now you want the cake? You want the cake? You want the cake? The cake is.
What is the cake, sis?
The cake is, they said, ma'am, what are you drinking? I said, oh, I'm having champagne. That's all I drink. So I was thinking, let me get a glass of champagne. They order, I go to order and they say, oh no, just get the bottle. Fine. So I'm thinking, because earlier I saw her take out her card to pay for shots. I'm thinking she's not about to buy my bottle of champagne. Come on. But then the craziest thing happened. The athlete turns to his friend and says, hey, use my card. He paid for my bottle of champagne, but made her pay for their shots. And I'm not sleeping with this man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So when I tell you that mentality, and then they said the reason they did that, he was like, oh, no. She's just like, she's basically like, a trick. Like she, and I told them, I gave them some game because even though I'm not here trying to save some young black men, I don't have a cape, but I did say she's only doing this 50-50 stuff because she's hoping to get pregnant.
Right.
And then she gonna get all her money back. So that's some free game for you. Because the child support will be a lot more money than this little money she's throwing at y'all right now.
The investments she's making.
She's making an investment. So I said, don't think that you're playing her. She's actually playing you free game. Buy your bottle.
Wow, this is crazy.
So when I saw white boy, I said, oh, he has that same mentality. And when I first saw pictures of him years ago, because I grew up in the South, when I see that haircut, when I see that beard line, when I see, run, my dear, just run. You'll get the same one.
Oh my gosh! Like, this is why I've had the same message. I did not like how we came on here and we started putting white men on the pedestal. I did not like that. And it was because I grew up around white men And I'm like, I really don't see the drastic difference between them. I mean, the difference between white male and a black man is in most cases, the white man grew up in a household that was healthy in most cases. Every now and then you may come across one where maybe their dad was on drugs or had like alcoholic abuse or something like that, but it's not the majority. And that's the difference between, to me, a white man versus a black man. It Has he experienced trauma or has he not? That's what women need to look for. It's not skin color. You need to vet these men about what type of upbringing they have had. What was their childhood life like? What was their childhood home like? Because that is what really matters. If you go off of skin color, you're just gonna get played. You're gonna get played.
it.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. That buzz cut, the buzz cut with the beard. Yeah. Nope. Can't do it. Nope. I already know what it was up. Nope. So no, I definitely understand what you're saying. And thank you for your input.
But thank you so much. I just wanted to just throw that in there because I seen it and I was like, wait a minute. And also let you guys know, y'all inspire me. Y'all the reasons I even started, like, went back on YouTube and started making videos again, because I was like, I need to rant about this stuff too.
What's your channel?
Random Thoughts.
Oh, Random Thoughts. Oh, I like that. That's different. Okay.
Yeah. So I just got back on and I'm trying to figure my little, what I'm going to be doing, how I'm going to be doing it. But because I just have all these thoughts in my head that I've had for years, and I'm now starting to see other people are having the same one.
Okay.
And it's so interesting to me because you're the one. I remember I told you that I wanted to do a reaction to a video that you did about your brother and your dad. I forgot what it was called. Yeah.
The black male unicorn does not exist.
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh, I am seen, because I too grew up in a household. I had two brothers, a dad that was in the household. I'm trying to tell y'all. I get it.
I mean, we got to stop praising the bare minimum. Like that's why I got so upset, because I'm like, first of all, like, I grew up in a household with them, and it's like nobody's over here praising me for having a job in an apartment, but because they're a black man, we must worship the ground that they walk on. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had to put in the same amount of effort that they had to put in. Why am I not being praised and worshipped and things like that? But I know the black male unicorn does not exist, and we need to kill that as soon as possible. Because that is ridiculous.
I've never been more seen. I literally was like, the bare minimum that people are expecting. And then the worst part about it is, I always tell my friends, I said, sometimes I got resentful because I had an older brother and even a father who, like, set these, they didn't really set the standards, just by them doing the bare minimum and then doing more. I was confused when I got out into the real world, and these men was like, bro, they're not even doing the bare minimum.
No, they're not. They're not even coming close.
And they're like, and it's a very big issue in our community. I'm in my later 30s, and I have advanced degrees, and all of my friends, all of my cousins, we're all in our 30s. We're all advanced degrees. We all earn our own homes. Nobody has kids, and absolutely no one can find a spouse. Nobody. And we're talking engineers, doctors, lawyers, everything you can think of, the top of the top, cream of the crop. No one can find a spouse. And it's and I've recently had to tell my dad, I said, quiet as is kept, y'all taught the daughters to go do all this stuff, and then y'all turned around and taught the sons nothing. And I'm coming from a cultural perspective because I'm from Africa.
Right.
But I said,
no. I thought it was just an Afro-American thing. See, we need to have these conversations more.
What do you mean? Like, no. Let me quick game for anybody that's out there. When they come here, African men are providers. Yes, they are. But when they touch here, they grow up here, they take on the same black male pathology. Just like African women take on black female pathology, and that is why the most educated ethnic group in America is Africans, but technically African women. It's because
Ooh.
Black American women are the most educated. So don't get it twisted when y'all be seeing all these fancy weddings and Bella Nige and all that stuff. No, our men, my dear, Tobu Msteli is the tip of the iceberg.
Wow, this is crazy.
That's why I told my dad, I said, y'all raise the boys differently. Y'all raise us to do this, and then the boys, you raise them differently. And then now you're wondering why none of us are married and you have no grandchildren. Now go cry.
Yeah. Oh my. Okay. So so your parents are giving you a hard time about the no grandchildren situation. I'm just like, I don't really think it's a good idea. Every time I turn around, I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not about to be a struggling single parent in a marriage.
Offered to take the child, raise the child, put the child in private school, everything I mean, they at this point, they're like, we'll just take and I'm just like, and I had to tell, there's this mentality of it doesn't matter, just get married and have kids. It doesn't matter if you're miserable. It doesn't matter.
And that's because that's what they did. And that's what we not about to do.
And that's not what we about to do.
Nope.
And
I'm
so
not
now,
doing it.
For what? Okay. And then if you really want to be real with it, the reason I have this perspective is because I was a family attorney for a while. So I know divorce. I know the statistics. And
it's not a good idea. No, I don't. For me, I don't want to be in a high stressful environment. I grew up in a high stressful environment as a child, and it's like I finally got my peace, and I just don't want nobody to disrupt it, because if somebody was to take this peace from me, I don't know. I would go insane. So it's about my peace. It's not about a man. It's not about kids. It's not about my family. I am choosing myself. I like my peace, y'all. Do y'all hear that? Do you hear it?
It's quieter.
Oh my gosh. I enjoy coming in my house. Do you not understand? I was in a situation where I would sit outside my house because I didn't want to go inside. Do you not understand? What? There are women out here that don't want to go inside their house. Yeah. They in the garage, or they in the driveway, like, gotta go in.
Everybody's they run into marriages, but what they don't know, and let me let y'all know, as a family attorney, everybody's getting divorced. Y'all are all getting divorced. Everybody in their 30s are getting, please understand. Like, I don't understand. You're getting divorced. You're going into your second and third marriages right now. So don't let these Instagram pictures fool y'all. Please heal first, and then find someone and partner with somebody who has healed themselves.
And don't be going off a height.
For what?
And stop going off of, oh, he gotta have a six-pack. Girl, I'm gonna tell you to get a medium, you're good to go.
My dear, when I said a six-pack, okay, he got a six-pack, but y'all can't even afford a family pack of chicken.
Oh my gosh. Like,
And let me tell you something my mom told me. She said, love comes slowly. It comes softly over time, right? It comes softly. It does. Love comes softly. She said, when love bombards you, then it will never last. And I find that to be accurate, because it's like, it was something else I was watching. I was watching something that said that, you know, if it's love, if it's passion, you know, if you're passionate, then it's not going to last. But if it's in the middle, if you're always in the middle, if it's either really, really good or really, really bad, then that's passion. That's not love. But if it's always wavering somewhere with the ebb and flow, but mostly in the middle, then that's love.
Yeah. And I tell women that all the time. I'm like, y'all are here trying to find the perfect man. You're going to run into a narcissist. They love to love bomb and play role play. They love to do that. They deserve an Oscar for that. I tell y'all to go after the men that are difficult within good reason. meaning they have principle standards, maybe like little quirky things about themselves that are a little difficult, but it's within good reason. You get with a man he just perfect, he's fake. He's fake.
Perfect for what? There's
There's no such
and I
thing.
think there's no such thing. And then again, it's like they want it to be perfect, and then they're looking at their friends who are posting all this perfect stuff, images on social media. So they're assuming it's perfect. Listen, people are getting divorced, signed a divorce attorney.
Wow.
Like, it's not perfect. Everything you see is not what you think it is. It just isn't.
Mm.
And so,
Can you elaborate more on that? Because I tell Black women all the time that we live in this fantasy in our heads, and we really need to let it go. And I know where it comes from. We're conditioned from the time we were little girls to want marriage and to want to play dress up and this and that. Your life is endless. Like, it has so many endless opportunities. Like, your life can go so many different ways. Leave room for that. Some of y'all close yourself off to like dating out, for example, dating a man that may be white, or dating a man that may be Hispanic or Asian, or dating a man or marrying a man that's Asian and then moving to Korea. Leave room for your life to go a totally different way than you planned when you were younger, or you imagined, or that you fantasized when you was a little girl. Leave room for that. It's okay.
I think the problem is that most of our fantasies included a Black man coming to save us or something like that. That's the problem.
Where do we get that from?
I actually had to tell my best friend the other day. I said I was busy watching the Cosby Show. You know, I like Clifford Huxtable. I don't know who Bill Cosby is, but I grew up watching the Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. So here I go. So I took myself to law school thinking I'll graduate and I'll, be out there in this society and I'll meet a nice doctor and we'll have 5 kids and that'll be that.
Right.
That was a lie.
How do you see your life now, though?
I'm glad it never even slightly worked out with the surgeon. Everything that I want now, I realize none of those men could have given to me.
I think that's what a lot of women need to come to terms with and be at peace with, is the fact that I can sit here and say none of the men that I have ever dated, and they were not bad. They weren't thugs. They weren't the Pookies and the Ray Rays of the community. You know how they like to throw that out there and make assumptions. They just were not it. They were not husband material. They were not father material. Why? Because they were not emotionally available. They were not mentally stable. They were not capable of leading a home with tradition and order.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the Pookies, I hate when people be like the Pookies and the Ray Rays. I have never really dated a Pookie or a Ray. Maybe when I was 13 trying to be like bad, right? But everybody I've ever dated was an educated lane. Matter of fact, I can't remember the last time I dated a guy that didn't even have an advanced degree, right? Some over here like, y'all do know that they are horrible too. You do understand that. Sometimes it's just the educated lane. They just went and did that. They just went and got educated. And a lot of times it was because of the women in their lives that pushed them into it, not even the men.
And I have to ask you this. What was the number one issue that you kept coming into with the men that were educated and advanced?
Until now, I'll tell you, until now, it's a conversation me and my girlfriend were having. They feel so entitled.
Oh, I knew it.
And so I have a law degree. I have several, right? I personally am trying to quit being a lawyer and be a content creator. All that stuff does nothing for me. right? Like in the sense that I have a law degree because I'm an immigrant and I had immigrant parents, and they all forced us into these high earning careers, right?
Right.
But just put that aside. That's a whole nother story because they didn't force them in. But
Ooh.
these men are so entitled, right? They feel like, oh, look at me, big man. I have a bachelor's degree. You should kiss my feet, all 5 of you. What? And then the worst part is, then they look at you like, even if you're just as educated, you're just as accomplished, and you're on the same level, right?
Oh, they like
They
to
look at
minimize
you,
that.
they will minimize it. And so then I'll have a lot of my girlfriends who will date maybe a step lower, right? They'll go hypogamously and date a step lower. And those men be like, literally will treat them like they are, like, as if they're there's a word in Swahili, mavi, like, just, I mean, the low, the toilet. Literally, they will treat a person with a whole law degree, not that, even a person that's not flexing, one that is humble,
Right.
already,
Not arrogant.
humble her. They will humble her. They must humble her some more.
Wow.
I said, I can't do it.
I can't do it either. I would die inside, and I would literally die inside. I just remember when I was a kid, and I would internalize things because I didn't feel comfortable expressing them in my environment, and I just don't want to go back to that. Coming home to a man and he says something to you, and you have to internalize it because you can't tell him how you really feel, because you're emasculating him. Well, you know what? I would just rather be by myself, unless I can find someone where we are seen as an equal, and we're really in this together as a team. If I can't find somebody like that, I can't do it. I can't. I've seen women who have married the devil, y'all. Every day it's an argument, every day it's a fight, every day it's an upheaval, and it's just like, y'all live in a nice apartment, y'all have everything that y'all need. Why are y'all not getting along? And it's like a power struggle. It's an ego death, and it's over the dumbest stuff. I can't do it. So I just, it's not worth it, y'all. It's not worth your peace.
Peace is priceless. Peace is
It
a
will have
very,
you out here Asian backwards.
it will. Mental health, which is not discussed in our community a lot, it affects a lot of women. These type of relationships affect your mental health, and that carries on, because even if you eventually say you want to have kids, mothers are typically the first teachers of their kids or whatever. So, like, whatever you got going on in your mind will just carry. It's really, there's a part of me that's like, I wish it would get better. Then there's a part of me that knows it won't. And then there's that last part of me that just has just stopped caring. Because you watch it, you're not going to sit here and tell me that what women are saying is false. You can't tell me that, because I know too many women in their 30s, their late 30s, and these are good women. They're to me, what irritates me is they're not even like me. Like, I'm a little bit bombastic, I'm a lot more like my dad. These are women that will just, they're so nice, they're so
nice.
sweet. They'll even pay for what, and they'll still be treated. And I said, I can't. No. See, if you're gonna treat them that bad, now what's in store for me?
Because I'm not gonna put up with it. I don't know.
And so you just feel, and and I will say something that has helped. Is I started therapy a year and a half ago, and I really didn't date, and I've kind of just maintained that for about a year and a half now. And it's been interesting looking from the outside and not dating and being in therapy. And you start to observe more. And you learn more about yourself. I'm just saying, just heal first.
Can we talk about
your heart.
therapy and how toxicity is just sticking out like a sore thumb now?
Yeah. People are so toxic. Like, the toxicity is, it's almost like I don't even know how y'all don't got iodine poisoning. Like I don't. It's a very toxic environment. People are very toxic. Protect your peace. Protect your space.
And it's so bad to the point where I hate to say this about my own community, but like in order for you to truly heal through and through, you have to leave the Black community. It facilitates toxicity. It facilitates domestic violence. It facilitates violence in general. It facilitates mental health and illnesses. You have to leave. There's no staying for you. You can't heal in the same community that caused you so much trauma, sis. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. So hopefully you can go to therapy, heal, work on yourself, and somehow come across a Black person with a similar mindset, and you guys are on the same frequency and wavelength. But ain't no way in hell you gonna ever be able to heal in the Black community. Ever. It lacks growth. It lacks change. It lacks acknowledgement. It lacks accountability. It lacks ownership. You're just not gonna heal in that community. You're just not.
And that's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow, yo.
Mhm.
That's nobody wants to swallow that pill. Let me tell you how all of the videos on YouTube, what ends up happening is when I came across everyone's videos, I started realizing a lot of things what a lot of people don't know. A lot of Black women are seeing themselves and hearing themselves and been having these thoughts for a very long time. You know, when you said you have to heal, you can't heal in the same community. You brought up domestic violence. Quiet as it's kept, if you do pro bono work, you tend to do it in that environment. You tend to do a lot of okay, you see where I'm heading with that. So if you're already in the back of your head, you've already seen it. But you know, you push it in the back of your head, right? Okay, same thing with politics, same thing with activism. Once you go there, man, I tell you, it's like it's in a whole nother you start to realize that, okay, wait a minute, stuff is not adding up. Numbers aren't adding up.
No.
Things
It's
are
the
moving.
numbers for me.
The numbers don't add up. Let me say this. My first case out of, and I'm very cognizant about YouTube policies, so I'm being very careful. My first case in family court, right out of law school when I was doing my externship, involved a father and then young, you know, and then under 10, 4. Yeah. Black. So y'all ain't gonna sit here and tell me something that I didn't see for myself.
But they'll come on here and try to tell you that what you saw wasn't true. They love gaslighting Black women. They love gaslighting us.
Matter of fact, I take that back. That was actually my second situation. My first situation was a kid, grandmother. Fast forward a couple years, days, whatever. Anyways, so cigarette burns. Black.
Wow.
You can't tell me I didn't see the picture.
Right.
So after a while, I started saying, wait a minute. There's more going on in our community than I previously thought.
Yeah.
Even though you know, but you don't know. Okay, but you put that aside. Okay, all right. You know, but you still got to fight the power. But it's like the power had nothing to do with those particular issues, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
The system had nothing to do with those type of issues.
Right. You know how they like to blame the system. They like blaming white men. They like blaming da-da-da. I can't do it. And like this person said here, family, Black relatives. I can't be home for more than 3 days. I can't be around that. Like I cannot be around it. And you know, I used to look at the Black people in my family that would leave home and they never wanted to come home. Now I'm one of those people because I'm just like, dang, like you really don't understand how your toxic environment is so normal to you that when you move out of the environment, you're so sensitive to the very toxicity that was so normal to you. So when I say I can only be home for 3 days, I can only be home for 3 days. Then another thing that I want to highlight was when I moved away from my family, I didn't understand how much I had muled for my family. I'll never forget when I cooked a meal, I made a big pot of it was like a noodle dish. It wasn't spaghetti, but it was like a noodle dish. I had made such a big pot of noodles and things, and it's just me, and I'm just like, Kiana, it's just you. You only have to worry about yourself.
Oh yeah.
When I first moved here, I overcooked for like months before I finally realized it was out of habit. I finally realized like you only have to worry about yourself.
And I bet you never got a Mother's Day gift for being a second mom.
Oh no, I don't even get a Mother's Day happy Mother's Day. You know what I mean? Like, no, you never get that. So, and I tell people this all the time because people ask me, Yoni, when you have kids, where do you raise kids? I'm enjoying this time to myself. Can I enjoy this time by myself? I've already ran a house. Can I enjoy this freedom that I have right now? I mean, damn. And I feel bad for Black women that never got this chance. I'm the first Black woman in my lineage, my bloodline that has this freedom. And you want me to just go run to this guy that ain't even all that. You know what I mean? Like he don't have his stuff together just so my parents can have some grandkids. I'm not doing that. You got to break the cycle, you guys. I feel bad for women that got played. You were groomed. You were manipulated into thinking that's the next stage of your life. It don't have to be. You already raised a family. Now your people around you are rushing you to go raise another one. Enjoy your break, sis.
You're young. I wouldn't even think in that direction. I wouldn't even I always tell people at especially your age level, if you have the means, go to a fertility clinic and look into egg freezing and keep it moving. If that preference, while you're still young, if you have the financial means, that's the only past that therapy and that I got nothing else for you, honey. Live your life, because by the way, when you die, nobody's jumping in the casket with you.
No,
nobody's jumping in the ground with you. Nobody's taking your place. Nobody's coming with you. You're gonna be on by yourself. So you have to learn to live your life, and it is difficult. I acknowledge, especially for Black women, it is difficult because we've been taught to live for everybody else.
Oh my gosh.
You know? And you're from your groom to live for everybody else. Everything. That's why they blame women for everything.
Yep.
You know.
And that's why I said earlier in this live, I said you do what you want to do when you want to do it, because that's what you want to do. That's how
you've got
to live your life.
Live your life. Be free. Heal. Be at peace. You know, go do the thing you always wanted to go do. If you got the coinage and you do want to be a parent at some day, you know, go freeze the eggs. If not, adoption is also a thing. You know what I mean? Like, live your life. Don't be bogged down by these things. And also vet these men. And I'm gonna go back to how I started. If he looked like that man. Yeah. We were cackling. Me and my friends were laughing because we grew up around men like that. And
exactly. That's what I'm like.
Oh. Y'all vet these men, and don't feel bad for. So I don't know if it was Cynthia. I don't know who I was listening to, but it said don't feel bad for wanting more. Even if somebody's going to call you a gold digger, especially if you've done a lot for yourself, don't feel bad about it. You live in a capitalist society. There's nothing free. Don't feel bad, you know, feel okay with that, because I actually have friends who actually feel bad asking or wanting more. And I'm like, you shouldn't feel bad for saying you don't want to go 50-50 on a mortgage. That's okay.
I struggled with this, and what I want Black women to start working on is start working on your scarcity mindset. Start working on your poverty mindset, because that was something that I also struggled with. Like I I just struggled with that, and I had to ask myself, I'm like, where did you even get this from? Like, where did you get this from? And I realized the community facilitates scarcity mindset. That's what this live is all about. They want to scare you out of dating out, or a poverty mindset. You can only get what's given to you. You can't ask for more. And I tell y'all that all the time. It even goes back to slavery with us Afro Americans, where master would give you the scraps of the pig,
Yep.
but he having steak for dinner. You ask for steak. If that is what you want, then you ask for steak and you don't settle for nothing else. We're not slaves and we're not the help. So y'all need to start asking and stop apologizing. Because I noticed that we do that. I'm sorry, or I'm sorry. Like you're walking.
I do that.
I do that too. I was at the grocery store and this white male was walking in front of me. Now I had the right of way in the grocery store because I was on the right side. Why did I move my cart over and say, I'm sorry about that? When actually it should have been the other way around. And I noticed that when I go get my feet done or I go get my nails done, I'm always saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm just like, I'm working on that right now. I'm like, stop saying you're sorry.
It's interesting. I follow this one radio show, and one of the girls on there, she used to do that all the time. And they said, okay, just go one day and mark down every time you said I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Man, I said I think I need to do that. And that and it's interesting how it's like, what am I sorry for again?
It's out of habit.
You know, and it's like, it's just and it just comes out. It comes out whether you want it to come out or not. You just say it. And there's a lot, I guess, psychologically behind that. But that poverty mindset will get you every time. That breadcrumbing, tell you something. See, I knew I was in for a ride for myself, because what you said something very interesting a minute ago. You said Massa was out here giving y'all crumbs, right? and steak. Okay. As someone who was a history minor and who also grew up in the South, and the real, like deep, like home of Gone with the Wind South, my mindset goes to, see, I'm more of the, I'm not about to ask for steak. I'm about to go up in the house, do what needs to be done, and sit down and eat the steak.
Right.
And so, but I realized maybe in my 20s and 30s that a lot of men didn't have that mindset. Our men don't have that mindset. It's they'll eat the crumbs, and then when they get the crumbs, then the next step up will be, you know, let me ask Master for the steak. And I go from you giving me crumbs 0 to 100 real quick, giving me crumbs to I'm about to come to the house, do what needs to be done, and I'm gonna sit down and eat the steak. And so there is a disparity in a lot of our in a lot of our mindsets. I've learned when it comes to men and women in our community, they are very, very docile.
Yeah. And it's conditional. Like and that's why I said earlier, in order for you to like really have a healthy mindset, you have to leave the community. You cannot stay. You cannot stay. That's like, I know there's some women in here right now. Their family members were telling them, don't divorce your husband. Don't divorce your husband. Why would you do that? Are you supposed to suffer?
Like, that is insane. And okay, I'm reading this super chat someone just sent you, and they said about children. When I tell you, whoever just said that, oh my goodness, can it be a billboard?
Yeah.
Can it be a billboard? Because I remember when I was in college, I was with a group of friends, and we were in the dorm rooms, and we were talking about life. And I was like, okay, when I grew up, when I was much younger, when we lived in Africa, I had nannies. Oh, my mom had Right. And so I'm confused, and I'm like, I just assumed you should have a nanny because it's very hard once you've had a child postpartum. Like there's a lot of things, but I also understand in America it's expensive. Right. I kind of understood it at the time, but I was like, no, I have to have a nanny. That's probably why I have to go and get a really high paying job. Right. They were like, no, you should not. You should have 3 jobs. And why would you be a stay-at-home mom with a nanny? And da da da. Okay. Fast forward, this is what, 14 years later, one of my particular friends that was saying that has a nanny because she married pergamously. Get into it.
What kind of nanny did she have? Did she have a night nanny or did she have a during the day nanny? Because I've been looking into it.
They had I believe it was during the day because her husband worked night, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot what it was, but it was a nanny / housekeeper. And I remember when she started asking me for housekeeper recommendations and nanny, and I remember thinking, I swear a couple years ago, y'all were down my throat. Because I said it doesn't seem possible. Why is it that women have to suffer so much if they can?
And then the suffering is honored.
What? As if you should be so fine. I stayed up all night with my baby for 12 hours straight, and I am a good mom. Okay, then, my dear, my nanny slept. I slept. My nanny watched the baby and brought her for me to breastfeed. I slept. Like what should I do for you? It makes no logical sense. And then on top of that, now you're not even being at your best. I understand some people cannot afford that. I completely understand it. And that is like a whole nother capitalist thing.
Yeah,
but for those,
that's what leisure is like. And I hate how, when it comes to Black girl luxury, the thing that I don't like about it is they only want to accept the hood rich Black girl luxury. Black girl luxury is leisure, sis. It's spa days. It's valet parking, sis. It's getting a nanny, a babysitter. It's taking time to yourself and not feeling guilty. It's not that hood rich. Oh, you was out here, he bought you a chain and he bought you a handbag and some shoes. But I couldn't help but notice Tammy when she was with Waka Flocka. She was in the closet crying because she was overworked and she just felt drained. How? You got that whole closet full of all of that designer this and designer that, but you in the closet crying, sitting on the floor, stressing and drained and overworked because getting a nanny, your man feel like that's not something you need because he watched his mom struggle providing for him as a single mother. Make that make sense. So I like Black girl luxury when it's truly Black girl luxury and not just it's about the bags and the shoes or that hood. Y'all know that hood rich aesthetic that I'm talking about. I can't stand that. It's really about leisure. It's really about taking weight off of your shoulders. It's about service.
The aesthetic that I was that you're talking about with the hood rich aesthetic, I find that to be very misleading. Because first of all, not that many girls are even going to make it to that aesthetic. Ooh, and girl, so I'm like, y'all are putting out this aesthetic that a lot of girls are not going to be able to make it to. You're more likely going to be able to make it to, say you went to college and you got an advanced degree and you got a corporate job and you climbed up, you're making 6 figures. That is more likely to happen than you bagging a baller or a rapper, right? So that aesthetic is misleading to begin with. And you're absolutely right. Like a bag doesn't mean anything because if he leaves you, right, you got the bag. I hope you have enough common sense to go and sell the bag and buy a business.
And what kills me, because I have to get this point in here. Black women will drag a black man for all of these shoes that he got in the back of his videos on YouTube, right? But then y'all praise black women that got all these bags in her closet, right? But she has nothing to show for it outside of the closet. Just like the black man has nothing to show for it outside of his shoe collection. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. And over here, we keep the same energy. Because there's no way you should have all of that in your closet and you don't own a home. That does not make any sense. We need to put healthy on a pedestal. We need to put healthy on a pedestal. That hood rich aesthetic it's just not healthy. So I would like to see people own homes, invest in homes. I mean, if you look at the market right now when it comes to renting an apartment, it's skyrocketing. At the price that you're paying for this apartment, you can invest in a property in some type of equity so that you can get that money back. Instead of renting, you don't really get the money back. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out here and rush into investing in a home before you're ready. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that should be your goal, not this hood rich aesthetic. Them girls are not secure. They got some bags though. I'll give it to them, but they're not secure. They're not stable. They're not in a position to where that should be goals. That should be maybe a milestone, maybe. I don't know. But it should not be goals. It should not be the end all goal if that's what you into. But it's just no. Somebody said hood rich is cheap.
It's
no
I always wonder how they getting all these bags. Somebody give me a $300,000 bag so I can go buy a factory, because I don't understand.
It's crazy.
Like, there's no way you have a bag and you don't have a McDonald's.
I'm gonna let you take over the chat because I need to fix my camera. So just interact if you want to, and I'll be right back.
I'm over here just like, look, hey y'all, how are y'all today? But what Yoni was saying, you guys, that hood rich aesthetic is it's not where it's at. Go buy some land. There's a lot of land out west right now, even if you're unable. I mean, obviously do your research, look into it, work with people that are legitimate, but go buy land. Go buy land in states where cannabis is legal. Like, look at how, federal laws are moving, right? Work on your credit. That's another one too. Somebody said work on your credit. That's really a huge thing, because if you work on your credit, then you can buy more land. I know it sounds crazy, but you know what you can't make any more of? Land. Where Yanni go? Yes, those purses are $300,000. The Birkin bags go for anywhere from $40,000 to the one Kanye bought was $650,000. Like, though they're expensive. Even if somebody bought you like a $20,000 Birkin, bruh. Like, if you think about it, to get a McDonald's franchise is like usually like 1.3 million. To get a Subway is like 600, like 200,000-300,000, maybe 500,000, depending on where you at. So yeah, if you have good credit, like, and also somebody said the USDA, they're absolutely right. The USDA, the government, does actually do land auctions, and they don't be telling nobody. And them things be really cheap. So go on the USDA website.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, sis. I really do appreciate you for
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed myself.
You're welcome. And you guys, make sure you check out her YouTube channel. It's called Random Thoughts. Correct?
Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you guys so much. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Memorial Day.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Quartz, I know you was waiting to come in and chat. Did you want to come back, sir? Because you all up in the chats. And this is my question, because I wanted to answer your question. You said, Yoni, you said none of the men were bad. They just weren't husband material. It's true. I don't know what else you want me to say. Dang. So I just sent the link. Somebody said the bags are fake. I think so too. Let's see. Is he gonna come up here? Mr. Court? Somebody said they playing Monopoly with house. That is so true. Oh, wait. Okay, it's saying Manifesting Queen is saying that your device is not connected. I can't add you to the live. So I guess Mr. Court did not want to come up here. He was just in the chat. What happened? Oh, you guys can't find her channel? I don't even like to buy shoes. Okay, I guess. I'm definitely gonna save this live. Well, I guess I'll just respond to him. Mr. Court, I don't answer questions like that because they're baited questions. It doesn't matter what I say. You won't find value in me because you don't want to. So, and to the women that are out here, you should never try to prove anything to a man, because if he doesn't see the value in you, he's not trying to. He doesn't want to. So you can say you cook, you can say you clean, you can say you nurture, you can say you're bomb in the bed, you can say all of these. They don't care. Okay? So you should just focus on yourself. There's a man that will come along and see value in you. Okay. Okay, Manifesting Queen, you're up next.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Yoni. Hi.
I know we had some technical difficulties, but what would you like to add?
I'm new to this whole StreamYard and thing, so that's the reason why I messaged you to see if you could see this. Well, in my opinion, basically, I just think that it's derelict. Like, sorry, 2 seconds, sorry. I just think it's derelict across the boards because the men in the UK are more or less exactly the same. You know, they have issues with the way that they behave. And I'm from a Caribbean background. I'm Jamaican. And my grandparents came over to the UK, like part of the Windrush generation, which was basically like a scheme to like basically come and build the country after the war. So in the United Kingdom. So that's how we ended up coming to England. But like in terms of boundaries, one of your callers basically, she confirmed, is that my opinion as well. A lot of the older generation, in terms of the women, they give really bad advice. It is to the point where they just give unsolicited advice. They give just, when you listen to what they say, it doesn't make any sense. When you try to question them, you know, it comes back to, oh, you know, as a Black woman, you have to be this way, you have to be that way. And in terms of how we are raised to get educations, to remain as pure as possible, to, you know, be groom us to be wives and whatnot. But when it comes to the men, they don't do that at all. Prime example, I'll try and keep this really short in it, yeah?
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago, you know, when obviously, you know, Grandpappy died, you know, over social media a couple of weeks ago, the men were like in uproar, you know who I'm talking about, you know,
Yes.
he shall be, you know. I had gone to do some shopping because it was my daughter's birthday party to go to the next day. So I was just, there was a charity fundraiser, this black man, and he basically, I won't really say too much, but he took it on himself to basically say that this is a charity, basically, the charity is for children, okay, sick, poorly children. I won't say the name, but it's great. Anyone from the United Kingdom will know which charity I'm talking about. It's a charity for sickly children. You know, they want monthly donations and whatnot in it, yeah? And the man didn't try to spill to me or try to tell me anything about the charity, although I know about the charity because it's a big charity. He just wanted to spew his rhetoric to me, okay? And you could just basically tell that he was basically upset about what had happened, because the spill points, the normal talking points was, and my grandma said this to me when I was younger. She said to me, black men do not like you when you're too smart. Ooh. They do not like you when you're too smart. Yeah? And maybe some women will be able to say yes or no, or some men will maybe deny it. But I've heard it many occasions. And not only have I heard it from my grandmother, I've seen it in their actions. Okay? The way that, you know, you will do everything for them, okay? Backflip, provide for them, pay for things for them,
tap dance,
you know, allow them to come into your homes, into your space, basically being a wife without a ring, because that's what you need to do to be able to prove to them, okay, that you're wife material. But nothing is expected of them. They want you to pat them on their backs and just stand up and give them standing ovations for doing bare minimum, okay? So back to the man, okay, because sometimes I go off sometimes on a tangent, but back to the man. He took it upon myself to say to me that as a black woman, okay, we must not have no value. I'm 32, okay?
Okay.
Last year was the first wedding I had gone to, okay? In basically since I was maybe 4 or 5, and it was my uncle and his wife who got married, yeah? It was my cousin and her husband got married in it, yeah? The women, like another caller said, we're educated, we have mortgages, we carry ourselves, a lot of us are even in relationships with men who are not doing what they need to do, but we're standing there, you know, acting like we're getting the best, and it's just, you know, we're not getting that, you know? So, and I feel like that's why a lot of them behave like that, because they're entitled, like another caller said, isn't it? Yeah, they expect us to behave like this. They expect us to do the bare minimum, and all they have to turn up is be a man, okay? And I said that to the man, and he got really, really upset. He said, well, black women are not getting married. I said, well, you know, I've seen a couple of black women who are getting married. I know one black woman per se, but through social media, I see a lot more women who are dating out. And I'm seeing them, they look happy. You see just glowing on them. They're dating out. And it isn't just white men, it's Asian men, it's all types of men. They just look happy. They look like they're able to sit in their feminine space. But black men don't want that. That's why they want to talk about us. And I call them the weave police, yeah? Because they're always so quick to say about our hairs, our looks, our this, but I've got white friends, yeah, who wear weave. Let's just keep it real.
Ooh.
I've got white friends who wear weave. I've got white friends who will come to me and ask me, where should I go?
The Beckys introduced me to weave.
This is
the cheerleaders in my middle school. I knew nothing about clip-ins, but they introduced me to it.
This is it. White girls have always been wearing hair. They've always worn their clip-ins. They're going to buy their extension, their expensive platinum blonde extensions, and they put it in their hair, you know, and nothing is said to them. It's just a way for them to enhance their appearances. Okay, but when it comes to us, they've always got something to say. And the funniest thing about it as well is that they make it like we don't have hair. A lot of us have long hair, but we just choose to wear our hair in protective hairstyles, and we like to switch it up. What has that got to do with anything? But they will try to say that you're less than. And at the end of the day, in this country, in the United Kingdom, it's about assimilation. It's about having an easier life. I would love to be able to go out and have my hair around an afro and not have anybody staring at me and acting like, oh, who's this? Or, you know, or people ask me, can they touch it? You know, I just wanted to go about my day and just live my life. So yeah, I'll put my hair in braid. I'm more of a braid girl. I'll put weaves in my hair. I'll get a good wig. But at the end of the day, it's just part of me. But I still take care of my hair.
Right.
And today I've got extremely long hair, but back to that man, sorry, I made a complaint about him on a Monday. I rang him and I rang his agency and I made a complaint about him on a Monday. And the woman was so disgusted about what he said to me that she rang me back the next day. She said to me, he's been suspended. How do you feel about that? I said, at the end of the day, he just needs to know that he can't just come and spew his rhetoric to me. And what was so funny about his conversation is that it was the same exact talking points of their grandpappy, you know. And what was so funny as well is that I did this job as a street fundraiser when I was 18, 19. I'm 32 now, yeah. Got my degree, digital media. I'm doing things, okay? This man is 63 years old, okay? And you want to come and tell me, okay, about what kind of standards I should have as a woman. I'm not trying to look down on anybody. Okay, a job is a job. So I said to him, you know, because I said to him, I did that job when I was 18, 19, you know. I'm not going to say I'm going to be doing it when I'm 63 at the end of the day, you know. And he then said to me, as a man, he knows what men, you know, what men expect out of women. I said, you know what, at the end of the day, I can tell you as a 32-year-old woman what men are like currently in my generation. I said, why is it always a woman's fault? Okay, why are we able to do it and you lot can't do it? He went quiet. Before this even happened, okay, there was 2 different occasions that I tried to get past him and he decided to come and stand right in front of me to the point where I couldn't bypass him. And which was so funny is that his colleague turned around to look. He was like, why is he standing in front of you? When I came back, because I was so upset, I rang my mum and she's like, no, my name's Shana. No, Shana, don't take this. Go back and get his details. And I was like, Mum, I can't do it. She's like, no, Shana, stand up for yourself. Because I wasn't going to go and do it because I've had many black men talk to me in this kind of way on a daily basis, not on a daily basis per se, but it's happened on more than one occasion, okay? And I've just allowed things to just, you know, not stand up for myself. As soon as I went back to them, what happened? The other colleague pointing straight at him because he knew what the man was saying to me. And what was so funny as well, the area that I live in, okay, it's not a white area, it's a diverse area, but it's just there were just people of all sorts of nationality listening to this man talk to me in this kind of way. And what was so funny is that I didn't even at one point, I just said to myself, you know what? Don't say anything to him. Just because he just spewed this off of his own tongue. There was no conversation where he would even need to get to that. He just wanted to say what he needed to say to me, and I was the first black woman that he saw, and I stopped, and that was it. I don't know really what's going to happen to that gentleman. By the end of the day, I don't feel sorry for him. Be careful. You can't talk to people like that, you know.
I also want to add, because this is something that I want Black women to understand, is that this is why the previous women they felt like it was just too much to bear, to go up against them, to like rebuttal anything that they would say, because they would fear-monger them into getting back in line. And this is why I tell you guys, like, the gender war they're labeling it a gender war, but really we're just standing up for ourselves. Continue to speak your truth. But I wouldn't feed into the baits. You know, you have to be safe. I tell y'all that all the time. Like, be safe, be safe. If you're gonna risk it, make sure you're risking it for your truth, not because you're instigating a physical altercation or something bad to happen to you, but you're just speaking your truth. I'm
speaking my truth,
and just keep it at that. But this is why the previous generation of women, it was just too much for them to go up against them in that way, because they would put fear in them and keep them from doing what
they were tired.
Them.
I definitely feel like they were tired, and you know what? So they were absolutely tired, Lanny. And you know what? I've got stories for days, Lanny. Okay, about the Jamaican men, because I'm Jamaican. Okay, about the way that they've treated my grandmother, my mothers, my aunties, and it's not even just immediate family. It's stories that you hear about. You know, like, you never hear about so and so and X, Y, and Z. You know, it's more or less exactly the same story. And you know what's so funny is that my generation, I think my generation and younger, have basically decided that we are not going to be the back for the Jamaican men. We're not going to be sending over things to you. We're not going to be like, I don't know. I don't really want to expose my family business on here. Maybe that I'll, I'm probably going to join your Patreon so that maybe there's a chance that I can talk, maybe talk about a little bit more. But
we're doing the healing circles, and that will be on Patreon only, so you can save it for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to join that, and I've got stories for days. But like, I think because we focus so much on the US, we think that it's just predominantly US men. And it really isn't. It really, really isn't. It is across the diaspora. Do you know what I'm saying? If they have black in them, and no offense, you know what I'm saying? Someone's going to say, oh, not all, maybe not all, but the ones that I've seen, it just seems to be a reoccurring story, and it is draining. And I try not to even engage with them. And something you said in one of your videos a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, it's stuck in my head. And do you know what's so funny is that some of the talking, it's like, I feel like I'm schooling some of the older community as well now. I feel like I'm schooling them a lot now, to the point of even my mum's bringing certain things to me that, do you know what, you were absolutely right, and I was sorry like that. We are definitely schooling them. Do you know what I'm saying? We're things down to them 100%. My mum never saw. My mum's like 52, 53, and she is starting to see things for exactly what they are.
And you know what is absolutely insane? When I started my mentoring business, I was thinking that I would be mentoring, like girls younger than me, maybe my age.
Yeah.
I have mentored, I don't know how many women in their 50s.
Yep. Yep.
And they all come to me tired, y'all.
Yeah.
When I say it's not worth it,
it's not worth it.
There was another woman that I was mentoring. She just wanted to travel.
Yeah. Just, you know what? It's just like, have leisure.
Yes.
It's like and I even see it all over social media, like, because obviously my TikTok is Black TikTok in it, yeah. So I'm into my TikTok is like spirituality, meditation, like tarot cards, and like Black girl luxury in it, yeah. I am unfortunately not at the opportunity to be able to indulge in that, like, per se, as of yet. But I just love to see it. It just makes me beam. It makes me cry when I see just them living their lives, getting to live that, just being able to I can live vicariously through them. Do you know what I'm saying? I see that click follow straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? But I also see in the comment section as well, the weave police, the haters, the men that have got so much negative things to say. And it's like another caller said as well, yeah, we are primed. And it's so funny as well, yeah, when my friend, I've got one friend in particular, okay, who got married to a white man, not my cousin last year, someone else, yeah. And it's just like, the way that she was raised, she didn't even have to do that much, and the man was just like that. Do you know what I'm saying, per se? Because we are raised to just be wives, be women's, be mothers, be maternal, X, Y, and Z. She just, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can't say it's because we're not doing X, Y, and Z, because when men of other cultures get us, they are just like lapping it up.
We are dependable.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
And we don't need somebody holding our hand
and telling us what to do. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just one of those things, it is across the diaspora, Yoni. And I love your channel so much. I love your energy.
Thank you.
I love the way that you do things. You don't sit and you don't pick at people. Do you know what I'm saying? You're very compassionate. I do respect that about you. And that is probably the reason why I watch you so much, because do you know what? Like, even like, you can just see that a lot of the reasons why the women are, like, the older generation are the way that they are, is because, like, maybe they didn't get the time to sit and think, educate themselves. Because my mom said to me, like, because I'm older than Google. Let's just keep it real. Do you know what I'm saying? If you Google it, I'm older than Google. So I've got access to so much training, and so much, training, resources. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So it's like, so my grandma and my mum wasn't acting, they weren't able to see. So they thought it was just them, Whereas now I can say to my mum, no, mum, it wasn't you. Or no, it wasn't X, Y, and Z. Look, do you know what I'm saying? We've got things that we can show them, concrete evidence.
I just came to the realization that when it came to the Black Panther Party, there were a lot of women in leading roles and positions, but they never talk about that. They
No,
always put the men in the forefront because of image.
it is always because of image. It's always because of image. And I think it's because we gas them up. We
Oh my
gas
God.
them up
And
for
do
way
you
too
know
long.
how that was
Yeah,
so mind-blowing to me? Because as a little girl,
yeah,
the whole reason I would look to black men as like this honorable, like I would put them on such a high pedestal was because of how their image was.
yeah,
And coming to find out that it was a lie, like
yeah,
those women put them out there in the forefront, but they
yeah.
were really running things behind the
But
scenes.
always behind the scenes. Like my mum's even now, we sit down and we have conversations about like this man in particular that was her ex he was just like the devil, like, yeah. And she would tell me certain things. And I come to think my mum was holding it all down, all by herself. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got a child. I've been single for 4 years, yeah. It has been the happiest I've been. I got a degree. Do you know what I'm saying? I spent time with my child. I did what I needed to do. And I think that's probably the reason why I'm thinking about how I can incorporate Emma back into my life, because I've just seen that are they really worth it, you know? Like, because they bring your life expectancy down, you know, like it has to be worth it for me, you know. So that's just
I need black women to understand that the images that you saw as a young girl,
yeah,
that you used to fantasize about, I want you
yeah,
guys to understand that that shit was fake.
yep,
They sold you a lie. They
yep,
sold you a dream.
yeah, because we were out here watching Best Man, you know, the Best Man, how Stella got a group back. We were watching
It's not even that. We could go off the movies, but
yeah,
even in the history books,
yeah, yeah. And even that I'm learning as well. And it's so funny, Yanni. I've even said this to my mum. I was like, Mum, we were giving them way too many props for a lot of stuff that they just weren't doing, you know? And it shows, you know, in the way that they are now, because it's like, why can't they get it together? How comes we can get it together, but you guys can't get it together, you know? And I think maybe give it 10, 15 years. Oh, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to say maybe because we're changing our ways and we're not taking any more from them, the foolishness that they might actually change. But I don't know about that one. You know,
it's insane. It's really insane. There was I'm trying to find this photo, but there was a photo that was going around where it was Nyla. I thought it was Nyla Says that has it on her community tab, but it was a photo. I don't know who had it on their community tab, but somebody had it on their community tab. One of the girlies had it on their community tab,
yeah,
where it was basically the continent of Africa was chained up, and the Asian man was carrying it up and was basically looking at
I haven't
black
seen
men.
that.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh. And it's good presentation of everything that you're talking about. Have you guys seen that? I'm gonna see if anyone in the chat box have seen it, because I would like to bring this up. I know you guys had to have seen that. And I was just shocked. Oh, was it Samantha Cooker?
They're doing the same in Jamaica, though. They're doing literally the same in Jamaica, Yanni. Literally the same in Jamaica. It's like they are literally taking literally everything. The only reason why, oh boy, that's a story for another day. But the Asian man he's basically doing exactly the same thing in Jamaica. You know, building infrastructures that the locals can't even like access. You know, my cousin went out there a couple of weeks ago, told me how extremely rude and disrespectful they were. You know, so I'm not surprised at all. You know, I think it's just. Go ahead. I think I found it. Is it? Where is it? Let me go and look. Is it on there? Did you?
I think it's Gossip Girl XOXO. Let me pull it up really quick, because and it's actually scary how true it is.
Do you know what, Yanni? Do you know what? I was having this conversation with this woman the other day, and I was saying that I think that they should just
men have been running the world for too long. I think they should just let us have a go at it because they've just been making too many mistakes.
Oh no, I was talking to my brother earlier today. I told him, I said,
they've had enough chances now, you know.
I said, I told my brother, I said, listen, this is what's about to happen. I said,
because they've got too many egos. They've got literally.
It's not even that. You know, I believe God works in mysterious ways, and we're currently in a new world order, right? Yeah. And man made technology, but what man did not think about is the fact that technology is replacing them. Right. So a lot of these men are out of jobs, or they say that the economy is a servicing economy. Right. Yeah. And they always look down on women saying, oh, servicing jobs, right, are for women because they're sexist. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, well, man created technology and now technology is taking over your positions.
Yeah. So what are you going to do now?
Exactly. And now they're jealous of women making high, like
they've always been jealous.
Jobs make 6 figures and up.
Yanni, they've always been jealous of women. And they have, and you know what? I feel like we also romanticize the old, like the is it like 80s, 90s, 70s, or whatever era and generation our grandparents are in? Because my grandmother's like in her 80s now, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's over.
Sorry?
It's over. It's that era is not coming back.
No, but I feel like because when I see a lot of people saying, oh, I wish you could go back to the olden days when men were this, when men were never, especially my grandma's got stuff, they were never like that. Yeah, we romanticize it because they were in good suits and they dressed properly, and they weren't probably just as disrespectful as the men are now because they're not, you know. But they've always been the same, you know. Oh wow, listen. I was having this conversation literally like a couple of weeks ago, and they at my cousin's birthday party, and they were getting so upset about because. I deal with facts and I show things in it, but they deal with emotions. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like they deal with emotions. You know, I'm not. They were like, "What about Africa?" I was like, "What about Africa? You literally got Africa. You've got people raping Africa every single day. Yeah, and there are people. Listen, yeah. Sorry, I don't.
That is what it looks like, you guys.
They're doing because wherever people of color are, there is a high chance of some kind of fuel or some kind of resource that can make them a lot of money. And these people who don't think about it, they don't think about their community. They just think about what they can just get for themselves.
Nope.
They need to let us run it, you know, let women run it for a little while, you know. But
because and then Black women, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, we have to pull ourselves out of a hole
every single time. Every single time. And it's so funny. It's like social media hasn't been around for that long, but it's just so funny how we are more or less all the same. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be a pathology. Do you know what I'm saying? It has to be something that's rampant in the DNA, because we cannot all be saying exactly the same thing, or we cannot all have similar stories if it's not, you know, if there's not some kind of like truth to it, you know.
Well,
and now we've got statistics to back it up.
I have to say this. I have to say it. Honestly, and this is why I tell Black women, you should actually go for Asian men, because I predict that they're going to be the most dominant. Yeah, they're going to be at the top of the chain. Yeah, they just are. And
they don't play. Listen, I've got so much respect for the Asian community. It's unbelievable. Because the way that they carry themselves, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, listen, do you know what I'm saying? In Jamaica in particular, it's disgraceful. I can't believe that the parliament, the ministers are allowing them to just do whatever they want to do. But and again, I'm not surprised, because if it comes with money, you know, they're willing to sell out their own, you know.
But remember when was it the Goldman Sachs? Remember when they were?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that interview, Yanni, with that man smiling with the sunglasses on. If I would put the glasses on right now and show you. The man was just standing there grinning as that man was just berating him, and I couldn't believe it, because this is submissive.
This is exactly why they are not getting loans anymore. This is why. This is why they're not getting grants. This is why they're not getting assistance.
To do what with it? To squander it away. To squander it away. Like, you see me, like, literally, there was something you were saying earlier on in a conversation about, like, you know, buying homes and whatnot. Like, once I come into some money, that's going to be what I'm going to be doing, purchasing homes, purchasing land, stuff like that. Like, who doesn't like you know, like some nice clothing and stuff like that? But I notice when they get money, per se, they have to go and squander it, you know, on just...
Yeah, it's
rock, brown liquor, Henny, any of those kind of things. Do you know what I'm saying? Weed, expensive trainers, you know what I'm saying? But expensive cars, but you don't have you're still living in a council property. And there's nothing wrong with council properties, because I live in, you know what I'm saying?
It's just not goals. That I just want them to understand. It's just not goals.
It isn't goals.
Somebody said, no, them Asians definitely move silently. No, they do. That's why I said, listen, you guys I'm going to coach you into going for Asian men. They should be your main prospect. And it's great because it creates competition for you.
Yeah.
It creates competition for you so that these men can compete. But I would, unfortunately, because Black men are the least educated and they're the least employed, it would be best for you to put Asian men above anybody.
Yeah.
It would be Asian men, white men, foreigners, and then it would be Black men at the very bottom. And the reason why I say that, it isn't because they're Black. It's because they're underperforming.
Yeah. And they don't seem to do that. It's just they're saying it a different way now, but they've always more or less said exactly the same thing. Like, they don't want us to have any standards. They don't want us to be educated. They just want us to just be. They just you know what they want? They want struggle love. Yeah, they want high cortisone. Do you know what I'm saying? Women, they want us to the mental health. That's what they want, so that we can say that we have a man in the house.
Yeah, and ladies, be prepared, because I've already dealt with this. But I had a Black man that said, "Really, you're gonna go for Asian men? Don't they have small penises?"
Not every Black man is well endowed, and I feel like us Black women, we've gassed them up too much. Like for one, we are faking a lot. Not even just Black women, a lot of women are point blank period faking the way that men are pleasuring them, point blank period. You know what I'm saying? Not just Black women, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like the size, not every Black man is big. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think they've gassed that up. Even like
I just don't feel like size is. I don't feel like size really does much. Like, bigger is not always better, you know?
Because as far as they're concerned, that's all they have to compete with.
It was just crazy, because I'm like, I sat down and I, told him the whole spiel about how their position in the world to be the next most dominant male group out here, and the only thing he cared about was the size of his penis. But he's not dominating the bedroom, though.
Yeah,
he can't dominate the bedroom if he's dominating the world.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's the that's the reason why a lot of them don't have energy. That's why a lot of them don't have energy to go and educate themselves and do what they need to do, because they are too busy chasing skirts. That is their problem. Okay, they're using all of their physical energy to see how many women they can pump, so they can turn back and tell their friends. That's what it really boils down to. That's why a lot of them, when you talk about what are you doing, or you may compare them, okay, which doesn't happen very often, but when you do compare them to men of other races, they mention their membrane, is because as far as they're concerned, they think they're the biggest in the world. You know, they're the best. You know, so that's all they can really say, because you can't compete with education, you can't compete with money, you can't. Some of them will come into your homes and don't ever want to leave your home. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they just want to come in, and it's a lot. You know, they're just doing too much, Yanni. You know,
they are.
But they always have been. Sorry.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next caller, because she's
thank you.
But thank you for coming up and speaking.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. And what would you like to add to the conversation?
Um, excuse my voice because allergy season, so a lot of mucus.
Oh no, you're fine.
But I actually came on when I heard the comment about men uh not being maybe not being good husbands, but
Mhm.
he's not a bad man. And I'm like, but you forgot that if he's not a good husband, he's also not a good father. So what was
Right.
that point of you actually mentioning that too? Because this I've seen actual single wives, single mother wives before. So like they barely doing the basic stuff for the family, and while the wife is actually slaving away, you
Hold on.
know.
There's a lot of there's like a lot of muffling going on in the background. Are you
Oh, I'm cutting up boxes. My bad.
okay,
My bad. I'm sorry, but
I just
there,
there we go.
but
There we go. There we go.
but there's a lot of I was saying a lot of single mothers who are wives, and
Yeah,
the husband is barely doing the bare minimum.
okay. And so you feel like was there like a previous caller that mentioned that?
Oh no, I think you said it was something in the comments, and you mentioned it earlier. Uh, telling the person that something about I couldn't remember. I like I said, I called in when that person said that in the comment section, and you addressed it.
Oh, I just yeah, there are a lot of women within Black culture that are single mothers in a marriage.
Yes, and that's what I was getting at. And also, the other caller did mention something that I actually agreed to
Mhm.
in a way, because just like about men, the older men and the
Mhm.
older generation, just like I remember one time actually asking a man like, what should I do and things like that, and about you know trying to work on relationship advice pretty much. And my partner was like, oh, you should let me lead. And I'm like, what should I do? And their reply was, just let him lead. Okay, I
Just let
sat down, let him lead, as in take over, like because I guess he felt like I'm not letting him lead
the
the
relationship.
family, yeah, the relationship, the family dynamic, and things like that. And I did on multiple occasions, and I'm just like, I just simply give my input and just let whatever decision happens is all on him, and things fall apart. Everything falls apart, and guess who's to blame? It's me. After letting a
Someone
person who
lead.
don't know, yes,
So you're saying that were you married before?
no,
Okay. But you're saying like that's what you were being told to do
yes,
by older women within your family?
no, older man. It was an older man.
Oh, an older man. Okay. But and then when things don't go, I guess, the way that they were planned, or I guess in a positive way, then the woman is to blame.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. I've seen that too. Yeah. But that's emotional abuse. So I hope Black women understand that is what emotional abuse is. So I'm going to move on to another caller, but thank you for calling in and giving your input.
Yes, happy Memorial Day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Mr. Court, finally, how are you doing today? Mr. Court, are you there?
Oh yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, all right.
I,
I'm
I
doing
saw
all right.
you. I saw you in the chat. You seem eager to speak with me, so I just wanted to go ahead and give you the floor.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, I'm a man, and a woman centric channel, so it's only understandable I might be triggered by some of the things said. Okay, so forgive me. But no, I just had a few things I want to take issue. I'm not trying to, you're trying to have a discussion, not a debate per se, but I did take issue with a few things you said. So
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go
all
ahead.
right, all right. So you mentioned that a lot of the men that you dated, you said they were good men. Well, you said they weren't bad, okay, but they weren't husband material. Okay,
They weren't
I
bad.
believe.
No. Let me explain. They weren't bad, meaning they were educated. Would they go out here and commit a crime? Probably
They met
not.
the bare minimum.
Right. They were an
Okay.
American citizen at a job, were educated, had a degree, and they had a car.
Bare
An
minimum
American
stuff.
citizen. Not enough to achieve the American dream, but an American citizen. Yes.
Right. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. You're absolutely right. There is a pathology among a significant amount of black men that think the bare minimum means they deserve praise. I don't deny that. Okay, but I just don't. I find it kind of disingenuous, and or it's like propaganda. So you wanna use your experience as a reason. What this is my interpretation of it. It's like you're using your experience of, oh well, none of them were husband material, so black men, they're just not husband material. That's how.
No. That's an assumption you're making. I didn't
Okay,
say
all
black
right.
men
Well,
were not husband
I'm
material.
telling you
I
that's
said
how
that I can sleep well at night knowing that I didn't turn down a potential husband. That's what that was about. Oh, he left. Okay, let's go. I don't like it when people put words in my mouth. I know what I said, and I know I didn't say that. I sleep very well at night knowing. You know how horrible it would be to go to bed and be like, dang, I missed out on that husband that I had when I was 23 because I wanted to be in these streets. I don't have that story. So I said what I said because I sleep well at night. I sleep peacefully knowing that I'm in the situation that I'm in, right? Not being able to find a man that is emotionally stable. I can find a man that has money. That ain't nothing. When you have a pretty face, you have a nice body. It's not hard to find a man that has money. The issue that Yoni is having is finding a man that is emotionally stable and available. I don't even think men even know what that is or what it looks like. That's the issue that I'm having. And I can't be in a relationship with a man. I can't be in a relationship with a man where it's cold. It feels very cold and distant, like someone is not there for you emotionally. So I can't do it. Hold on, he came back. Let's see what he's gonna say. Okay, continue, sir.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think I actually hit the button. This damn I got an S10, that damn curve, I don't like it. Anyway, okay, all right. I made an assumption, but I'm telling you that's what I'm hearing. I understand you're explaining your experience, okay, but it sounds like that's extra ammunition to be anti-black man. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me.
Sir, who is anti-black male? Just because I come on here and keep it all the way real about statistics, numbers, society, culture.
Miss Yaney, some of this your talking points are propaganda. It's not facts.
It's
Okay,
really
so
not, because at the
okay.
end of the day, you have free will to do as you choose. I'm not up here preaching Bible.
Miss Yaney, that's irrelevant. I'm not talking about religion or anything. I'm saying, okay, for instance, you and the previous caller, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
You and the previous caller start talking about how, oh, they don't, we don't give the female Black Panthers credit. That's not true. Okay, a lot of the black men revere.
I did not say that.
Okay. All right, 1 second. Okay,
I
one
said
second.
that because in order for you to get your point across to me, I need you to comprehend what I'm saying.
Miss Yaney, look, lots of black men revere Angela Davis, Kathleen Cleaver. That's not true. Okay, like this is the stuff that I'm talking about. If you want to say, hey, look, a lot of black men are underperforming. Okay, listen, I agree with that to a certain extent. I've gotten in arguments in the manosphere where I told black men they're delusional and they called me all kinds of simp. Okay, but at the same time, I'm not about to just let y'all try to distort facts. It ain't true. Okay, we got Fred Hampton, Huey Newton, Bobby Seale. Okay, look, these men sacrifice their lives. But to sit here and make it sound like
what are men sacrificing today? Because I'm tired of living in the past.
no,
What are you guys doing today? Because today matters.
Miss Yanni, I'm just bringing up the point that you're distorting history. Okay, that's all. I'm not trying to relive the past. You are distorting history.
First of all, if you know anything about the white man's system that you live in, history is a lie. In order for you to really seek truth and true knowledge, you have to do your own research. You have to cross-reference so much information to even uncover the truth. So neither of us really know the ins and out of history in its raw form. So we can sit here and debate this all day, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Let's talk about today.
No, Miss Yanni, I'm just bringing up the point that you're distorting facts. I'm not trying to relive.
No one is distorting facts. It's the
truth.
Miss
Yanni, I think you're distorting facts. You're trying to minimize like black men.
No one is minimizing anything.
Okay.
But if you look at the state of the world, if you look at the state of the continent of Africa, it doesn't seem like it's doing that well. Who's been in charge of that continent for how long?
Miss Yanni, a majority of the African countries had their independence roughly 50 to 60 years. Okay. Now, is there a lot of corruption? Of course. Who am I to say how long it should take? Lots of countries take.
But why is there always corruption when there's a black man involved?
I don't know. That's a very open.
We were sold into slavery by the very group of men that you put on such a high pedestal. What sense does that make?
I'm not putting anyone on a pedestal. All cultures have engaged in slavery. This is not unique to Africa, so I don't even know what you're talking about. Every culture is engaged in slavery. Every culture, civilization was built on slavery. So, like, I don't even know what does that mean?
I just saw black people getting enslaved, and they were enslaved.
No. Go look through the whole Greco-Roman history. That was white people selling other white people.
They were not seen as slaves, though. They were seen as servants. No, they were seen as servants, butlers, maids.
No. It was slave. Okay, it wasn't chattel slavery. You're right about that. It wasn't chattel slavery, but it was still slavery.
This is what I want to know, because we're speaking on something that happened years ago. I want to know what black men are doing today. That's what I want to know. I want to talk about nothing else. None of that stuff matters. What matters today is what we're doing today.
Look, let's keep it in context. I was specifically addressing what I considered a distortion of facts, and I was contesting it. That's it.
So I'm not doing nothing today. Is that what you're saying?
All right. I'll address that. Okay. All right. A lot of African economies are emerging. All right. We got Rwanda, Kenya, Ghana. Okay. All right. It's not perfect, but these economies are emerging. We even have blacks moving there, trying to buy land, have economic ties, do business relationships. It's not all doom and gloom. Yes. Could it be better? Of course. Do I think black men are underperforming? Yes. Okay. I am not here to defend black men's honor, but at the same time, you're not about to just lie on black men either. Okay. Trying to make it sound like, oh, we just never did nothing. Like, so that's what I don't appreciate. Okay,
sir, where was I have to ask you this. What was the last thing that black men did collectively within the 20th century that brought major positive change? On a national level.
Miss Yanni, look,
in the black community, did they stop the drugs in our community? Did they stop the crime? Or
all right.
I just have a few questions. I just want to know, like, what happened? What's going on with the community? Because it seems like it's going backwards. It's not going forward. We're not seeing healthy change. We're seeing worse, actually. It's getting worse by the day. It's not getting better. I just want to know, what have we seen? What have we seen where it has implemented improvement?
Okay. So first, are we asking specifically about Black America, or are we talking about the entire
Let's just keep it simple. Black America.
Okay. Black America, as far as I'm concerned, is going backwards. So I have no disagreement there, but you can't just put that on the men. Y'all got black women just have just as much of contribution.
You're our leaders.
No. If
you were the captain or the lead of a team, who is being held the most accountable within that group setting, within that team setting? The leader. If it's not the captain, then it is the coach. Correct?
Okay. Correct.
Okay, so are your women, do you want us to be the leaders, or do you want us to be the team players? Because it sounds like You guys want us to be the leaders,
No,
the coaches, and it's just like, damn, can we rest in our
no, Miss Yanni. Look, now that is a cop out. Okay, that's
No,
all
like
right. I don't want.
and then we keep telling y'all we tired.
No,
Clearly, we don't want to be
Miss
the
Yanni,
leaders.
come on. Miss Yanni, come on with this I'm tired stuff. Look, a lot of black women cause their own exhaustion. Okay, there's plenty of black women who will be in
Can you
a good
explain how we
relationship.
cause? No,
Okay,
because this is a
I'll give you
learning
an
lesson.
example.
No,
I'll give you an example.
no. How can we be the cause of our own exhaustion? Can you please explain that to me?
I'll tell you right now. Okay, so you referenced a video earlier. Okay, with the man talking about he asked why you entertain homosexuals or whatever it was. Okay, so if a woman decides if she goes and makes gets degrees and makes the best of herself, but yet she gives her submission to a man who's not about shit. That's her own decision. That's her decision to deal with it. Nobody's making her do that. No one
is giving submission in a situation where she's footing the bill. If anything, that man is giving his submission to her because she's fitting the bill.
The point is you choose to subject yourself to that
Not
situation.
all women are choosing that. Again,
Miss Yanni,
not all women are choosing that.
Miss Yanni, if a woman has a good degree, a good job, all this, and she's taking care of a man, and I have plenty of personal examples of women in my life who I know who do this. Okay,
and you know why they do it? It's because they're groomed to. They're groomed to.
Miss Yanni, look, we can use the same argument.
No. The same man. No. The same man in that video was complaining about how he basically wasn't being treated as a woman. He wanted to be the one on the receiving end of that woman that was opening up her purse, helping that man. We're groomed to. Now,
Miss Yanni, we can use the same argument.
No. Which is it though? Y'all complain about how women out here getting the degrees and things like that, and then y'all complain about women that help the less fortunate men within our community.
No.
Which is it?
Miss Yanni, you are confounding different things. Okay,
they're the same because we're speaking about the same group of men.
No, it's not. Okay, here's the distinction. Okay, building with a man who has potential, as in potential, he's shown and proved something. He may not have the finance.
Have you dated a man with potential?
Miss Yanni, come on. Can I finish my point?
Have you dated a man with potential?
I don't date men.
Okay, so don't speak on something that you will never experience. Do you not know how many women have got burned by dating a man with potential, but he never lived up to it because he got lazy and he was like, "Oh my God, this is too hard."
Miss Yanni, I'm trying to make a distinction. Okay, I'm trying to make a distinction.
Nobody wants to date a man with potential because y'all never live up to it. That's the problem. No. If you guys lived up to it, the community wouldn't be so broken. We understand that black men are capable, but they're lazy. That's the problem. You can't be the least educated and be the least unemployed. That doesn't make sense. How are you the least uneducated and the least unemployed? They go hand in hand.
Okay, look. You didn't let me finish my point. Okay, I'm saying women who choose to get with men who have potential, they don't make a distinction between the potential. They just say, "Oh, potential." Not all potential is created equal. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm not encouraging women to go for potential. That's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you, the women who do go for potential, they don't vet properly. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, a man has to show.
Are you saying that we are incapable of vetting correctly?
It's not about incapable, but I'm telling you a pattern of behavior I've noticed. It's not about your capability or not. I'm telling you a pattern of behavior.
Just like I said earlier, none of the men that I dated were bad. They weren't bad people.
Okay, so why were you in a relationship with them if they weren't husband and wife?
No. Anytime you try to be honest with black men, they think, "Oh, you don't like black men. It's some type of hate." No, it's real. They were not husband material. They were not leaders.
So why were you in a relationship with them?
Because I found out that they were not good leaders and potentials. They just were not.
Okay, but you still became emotionally invested. You invested time, energy.
Because one thing that men will do is they will pretend to be something that they're not, and this is why I don't believe in the nice guy trope.
Okay, well,
fake it all the time. You want to think you think women are out here faking it when it comes to orgasms. These men are out here faking it when it comes to just being a stand-up guy. You'll be surprised. But again, you will never have that experience because you date women, you don't date men. And you don't understand also how men love to play on your emotions as a woman because they know that that is connected to your womb, which also connects to your nurturing abilities. And so they like to feed into that. and use it in a way that is manipulated. So yeah, there are a lot of women that invest in men emotionally that they shouldn't invest in emotionally, but they don't know no better because this man is playing them. Do you know what that's like?
Okay, first, we fake orgasms too. So I'm just letting you know that we fake orgasms
It's not
too.
that's
All
the
right.
only thing that you heard.
No. All right, I'm getting to my next point. Okay, listen, I'm not denying that there's men who fake and can put on a good act and you're duped. I get it. Okay, and I'm glad you're not with those men. You didn't. Okay, but here's the difference between you and a lot of other black men. They'll sit here and have these men's children. Okay, that's my biggest problem with black women right there.
I
Give me
can't
one.
argue with that.
Give me 1
I
second.
can't argue with that. But we're not about to put the whole blame on black women because these men are impregnating these women. You do understand that, right? The sperm chases the egg, and it's weird that you guys like to put all of the accountability and responsibility on women. It takes two to make a
No,
child.
Miss Annie, look, you had the guy. I'm sure you've seen the article with the guy with 30 children. Okay, that's
Yes,
one
I
man.
saw that. And
That's one man versus 11 women. Okay, like
equal accountability.
I can't control some bum who wants to just nut everywhere and spread HPV. I can't. There's nothing I can do with that. A woman can at least say, "Hey, look, this son of a bitch has 2 baby mamas already. Maybe this is not the best guy to get pregnant with." Now, am I saying?
I
Right,
can't argue with that, but that's the only argument that y'all have is the baby mama.
Yami, that's one of the biggest arguments. Look, okay, that's one of the biggest arguments. Okay, for me.
I get what you're saying, but like this is what I want you guys to understand. Somewhere the man needs to be held accountable in that situation. It either starts with the lack of fathers in the home to where these women are out here settling for crumbs. There's a video that I posted to my community tab where it says childhood neglect leads to adults settling for half relationships. So of course you have black women within the black community that are out here settling for a man that is spreading his seeds all over the place. It's because they're okay with getting half of a relationship instead of a full one because their father was never there. So
all right, Miss Annie, look.
At the end of the day, men need to take accountability because we only see this issue within the black community. And the reason is because we are the only community where it's privilege to have a man in the home. It's privilege to have a father. Even you know that as a black man. So it's not just us.
No, I had both my parents. I never.
I did too, but I also understand that I was still considered one of the lucky ones to have a father in the home, and I'm sure you were seen as that as well. You understand what it's like to go to certain places, like when you go to your school and it's like a student orientation or something like that, or maybe it's some type of tutoring or some type of program that you're submitting into and you need your parents to show up. And then they're like, "Oh, your dad's here?" And they're like shocked. You know what that feels like. I had to deal with that as a black child with 2 parents. You have a father, your dad is here? How many times did you have to hear that?
Well, I mean, I never heard that, but I'm sure it's. I'm sure.
Got the stairs.
No, I'm being honest. No, I mean, I honestly never heard that, but there may be a reason for that. I mean, I don't want to put my personal information, but well, anyway, I never heard that, but look.
It's not about hearing. It's about the microaggression.
All right, I understand.
No, it's about the microaggression that you experience as a black child with 2 parents, right? It's the microaggression that you experience from people who automatically make the assumption that you don't have a father.
Okay.
Yes, right. You've dealt with it. So it's like I said, that conversation, baby mama, baby daddy issue, it still needs to be. Men need to be held accountable for that.
Okay.
Whether the woman that was impregnated by all of those men, where's her father? Where's her daddy at? Where he at?
Miss Annie. Okay.
Where the daddy at?
Look. I'm gonna use this example now. Maybe it's not a valid example, but okay, I'm gonna give you an example of something I've seen very commonly. I grew up in the suburbs. Okay, so I grew up with other suburban black families. All right, now. I'm sorry, it's too common where I see a girl, she does have both parents in her life, and her father is exemplary of what a father should be, what a man should be. And she still goes into the trash can for a man and has his kid. I know 2 women that's pregnant right now.
No. It's probably because the father was not emotionally available. And this is
why. All right, see, now that's what I can't accept. Now that is just like What is that
No, that
based on?
is
What is that
real
based on?
life. That
Miss
is
Jenny, I'm
real
sorry,
life.
I can't buy that. I can't buy that. It is black culture, and I'm not just putting this on the black women. This is black culture, period. It is black culture, black American cultural pathology. Okay, that's what it is. It's not just about, oh, whether you had your parents. No, we have made the shit normalized. Okay, now another. Okay, let's look at some other examples. Rihanna. Okay, out of all the men,
Yeah,
all the
I
men in the
can't
whole
answer that
world,
one.
all the men in the whole world. Okay, Nicki Minaj. Out of all the men in the whole world.
But every woman,
Okay,
listen, but every woman that
Sierra.
you're listing off, every woman that you're listing off, they came from a toxic household.
Okay, Sierra. Sierra had both parents in the household. Her parents still married together. Loving household. This is a
I don't know much about Sierra's situation, but come on. You're really using the example
no.
of what's that man name? I don't even know what his name is. But he was definitely out here swindling Sierra. If you want me, I feel like he
No,
was
no,
trying
no,
to
no. He already had 3 baby mamas when she had his kid. I mean, there's really no
get
explanation.
okay, you can take Sierra. Who else?
I don't know. Those are the biggest examples. I don't follow celebrities like that. That's just the biggest one I know, and it mirrors what I've experienced in my own personal life. I see this
But
quite commonly.
you do
Miss
understand
Annie,
that
look.
we're saying the same thing. I said they both need to take accountability, men and women.
Okay, all right, fair
When
enough.
it comes
All
to
right.
this accountability conversation, this is how I look at accountability within the Black community. I want you to go to your parents one by one in private and tell them about, I don't know, some type of trauma you may have experienced from them within your childhood. And I want you to tell me what they say or how they respond. Do they get upset? Are you calling me a bad parent?
Well, my father is very old school, and so
Exactly. And your mama
yeah.
too, right?
No,
So
no, no,
when
no,
we
no. My
speak on
mom's more progressive.
accountability, no. When we speak on accountability in the Black community, both genders need to take accountability. It's just that simple.
Okay, but Miss Annie, I'm specifically talking about the baby mamas. Okay, I know it's probably like a
Exactly.
broken
Both
record.
need to take
No.
accountability.
But Miss Annie, look. At the end of the day, the women decide who gets to fuck, and that's why I put 51% on women when it comes to the family planning. The woman,
51%,
51%,
51%.
51 to 49. Okay, because they decide who gets to fuck, and that's just the bottom line.
So
That's the
I have
bottom
a
line.
question. I have a question. Are you distant from the sperm that ejaculates out of your penis, or is that something that you actually like honor and you
All right,
appreciate
Miss
because
Annie,
it could potentially create life?
Miss Annie,
I just want to know.
Miss Annie,
Because you
there's
seem
trash.
very distant. You don't care
Miss
where it
Annie,
lands. You don't care who it land on. You don't care where your DNA, what it grows into or what it can become. It seems like you're very distant from your sperm. That's how you sound to me when you say something like that.
man, Miss Annie, if you met a guy who has 2 baby mamas, are you letting him skeet in you? Okay.
I wouldn't even talk to
Oh,
a
okay.
man
All
like
right.
that would not
Exactly.
get my attention. I'm sorry.
Exactly. All right. And similarly, I wouldn't talk to a woman who's got multiple baby daddies. Depending, well, yeah, no, I personally wouldn't talk to a woman who has multiple baby daddies. I just wouldn't. That's just my own personal decision. Does that mean she's a trash person or whatever? No, it doesn't mean that. But at the same time, that's not somebody I want to build with, have a legacy with. I want to have my first child. I'd like to be with someone who it's their first child. Okay. That there are trash people. I want to call them trash men and women. They're not
But
trash people. They
Mr.
have
Court, I'm
trashy
not
behavior.
saying that you having standards is a bad thing. If that's the standard that you have, that is the standard that you have. I personally feel like people who have children should try to get with people who have children.
Yes.
Okay, so I completely understand that. Like that's your standard. I'm not going to be mad at that. That's a good
Okay.
standard to have.
All right, but Miss Haney, look, this is my biggest issue. My biggest issue. Okay. Look, I don't necessarily agree with everything that you're saying, okay, but I have to be open to the fact that, hey, as you said, I'm not a woman. There's just some things I won't understand, okay, and I haven't interacted with black men in a romantic way, so I'm just not gonna know. I factor that in, okay, but what I don't like, yes, we can point to black men. They do this, they do that. It's some things that I got to.
Can we talk about the emotional issues that?
Yeah, but how do you? But Miss Yanni, how do you really? I don't know how to measure that. And then even if we
Because
do
I have
talk
been
about
in no. I have been in relationships with men that sabotage them because they have emotional issues.
okay, all right, but all right. So here's the thing. I have to take your word for it. Okay, that's your experience. But at the same time, how do
So you're
you?
saying black men don't have emotional issues? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I don't have an opinion on the issue. I'm saying, how is this unique? What is your proof this is unique to black men? That's
Because
my
your
question.
emotional your emotional stability, it's how you function as an adult.
No, but Miss Yang, I'm saying, how do you qualify that this is a problem that is unique to Black men. Okay, as far as I've known,
because you guys have
it's
the
an issue
most
women
trauma.
have with men.
You guys, no. You guys have the most trauma, generationally speaking. You have the most trauma. So why wouldn't you guys have horrible emotional issues? I mean, you can look at statistics.
I mean,
then
but
the Black community facilitates because you guys look down on therapy or counseling like it's not cool. Similar to how you guys look at education.
Okay, Miss Yanni, I gotta clarify something. Okay, look, all women have more degrees than men. You know this, right? White women got more degrees than white men. Asian women got more degrees than Asian men. That's not unique to Black people either. I just need to say that. Okay,
why are we bringing up degrees?
Because no, because you want to throw this little dig like, oh, y'all least educated, like,
I was speaking on mental health.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. All right.
We were not speaking on education.
Okay, all right. I apologize. Okay, but look, all I'm saying is, I don't feel like you actually have a scenario that like there's nothing you can actually point to show this is unique to Black men. I understand you're saying the generational trauma part, but even that.
What do you mean? Are you serious?
All right, Miss Annie.
No,
wait,
I have
Miss Annie,
no. I have one question, Mr. Court, and then I'm gonna let you go. Can you go to the hood right now and walk down the neighborhood unarmed at night and feel safe? Yes or no? It's just a yes or no question.
I feel safe everywhere I go.
Now you see, y'all love to gaslight. Now you know damn well you would.
Okay, we can ask that question about. We can ask that.
As a suburban kid, you know damn well you do not feel comfortable walking down in the hood at night by yourself unarmed.
That suburban don't mean nothing for me. But look, you can ask that same question of any inner city in any city in the world. Okay.
Exactly, and I'm
all right.
Unfortunately,
so that's not always due to trauma.
Unfortunately, it's populated mainly by Black folks
in this country. But I'm saying any country in the world, mostly you can do that. You can ask the same question. So it's not just the general. Look, Miss Annie, look, we can't just keep using this slavery.
I'm speaking on you in your current situation right now. Don't try to change the topic or the narrative of the conversation. Can you walk?
Miss Annie, my family is from Southside Chicago. My family's from Southside Chicago. Every summer I go to Southside.
Damn well you can't walk outside in Chicago at night by yourself. I know if you ain't home by a certain time, if you're not out of is it the South Side, y'all? Is it the South Side that you don't want to be on the side of town at night?
All right, Ms. Annie, look, it's not preferable. Okay, I'll say no.
Where they're warning the tourists, like, hey, you need to make sure that you're inside by 6 o'clock. That's what my parents were told when they was visiting Chicago not too long ago.
All right, well, I think some of it is exaggerated a little bit, but that's another discussion. But Ms. Annie, look, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I appreciate the discussion, but I just want to say this, okay? Look, the generational trauma thing, it is a factor, but I feel like it's overused. Okay.
No, it's not.
No, wait.
Because you guys do not want to go to therapy.
No, but Ms. Annie, let me finish this thought.
You guys don't understand that if you would actually work with Black women, some of them would be okay, but you're not even workable. And the reason why is because of these 3 things that I'm about to give you right here. Okay. The first thing, you guys won't heal. You guys won't address your trauma, which is a major issue. And you guys look down on therapy and counseling as if it's not cool or you're just too good for that. You're too cool for school type of mentality. Then the second one is you're the least educated. You're the least educated. So you don't even qualify for these high earning positions, right? And then some of you guys are not even employed. Majority of you guys are not employed. These 3 things,
Miss Annie, black women and Black men have the same unemployment rate.
No, these
go to Bureau of Labor Statistics. We got the same unemployment rate.
These 3 things are unworkable. We cannot work with this. We cannot work with these 3 things.
Miss Annie, look, this generational trauma thing is a scapegoat. Okay, all right.
It's not a scapegoat.
Look, Miss Annie, let me make this one point.
I have a question.
Let me make this one point.
No. I have a question. If trauma is just a scapegoat, why y'all be blaming the white man for everything? Because every 5 seconds I gotta hear, well, you know, the white man.
Okay, the white man is a scapegoat.
So if it's a scapegoat, so is the white man.
Scapegoat. It is. Okay. The white man's a scapegoat. Look. Oh, and what I'm about to say further proves that. Well, to a certain extent. This is why I'm saying the trauma thing is a scapegoat. to an extent. Okay, I don't want to completely disregard it, but we overuse it. All right. So now, whenever we talk about, we love bringing up Black Wall Street. Okay, these people were barely 50, 60 years out of slavery, and they was able to build a economic hub, a thriving economic hub. Okay, this is during Jim Crow. People are getting lynched, hung from trees. Woman hung upside down, have a baby cut out of her stomach, and if they step on the baby, all this gruesome shit, and they was able to build a Black Wall Street. Okay, that's barely 60 years out of slavery. Now you mean to tell
but
me
that was
100
because they
years
had
later?
purpose.
Okay, but they still had
What's the
trauma.
purpose?
They
No.
still had trauma.
They had no. Let me finish. They had purpose. You do understand that, right? The only
They
purpose
still
that
had
Black
trauma.
men, majority of them, have today, and the people, the group of men that you guys choose to put on a pedestal are these rappers. So the only purpose that you guys have is to get that chain around your neck, to get the woman that you can have sex with. I almost cussed just now, but to get the woman that you can have sex with and to drive the car that you want to drive. That's your purpose. Back then, those Black men had purpose to build a community that was safe, that was successful, and that was functioning. You guys are not trying to do that. If anything, you guys are creating dysfunction. That's it.
We are
So
creating
I'm
dysfunction.
going to ask you, what's the purpose of Black men today? What's your purpose, sir? To get the chain? Just so you can say, oh, I can get this girl, I can get this girl, to get the car?
Miss Annie, you gotta ask some ghetto niggas that a lot of these women get pregnant by.
But
I can't accept.
unfortunately, that is what you guys look to for mentorship. You guys look
And
to
that
have
is who
goals
Black
and
women
things
look to
like
get
that.
pregnant by. That's
What
a good amount of Black.
Black women get pregnant by. If Black women are out, I would be pregnant right now. I don't have any kids.
No, because you use good judgment. This is what I'm saying. This is my biggest complaint.
But
A lot
no,
of Black women, you're not criticizing Black women enough about this behavior.
You guys only
criticizing
give
them enough.
those type of women. You guys only give those type of women so much time and attention, but you look over women that have a lot going on for themselves, and then you also minimize women that may have had a child, right? But they got their life together. She's still
I
disabled.
am not accepting a woman with a child. That's just, that's a standard. That's just what
Listen,
it
that's
is.
your standard.
And a
That's
lot of Black
fine. But
women
I'm
got
saying,
children.
but you'll go deal with an Instagram model though that has been with this guy. You'll go deal with her though, but you'll look down on a single mom that has one kid that has changed her life around. That's crazy to me. That doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't accept either, but you're right. I might entertain the Instagram before the single mother.
I know you will.
Because I've been in that situation before twice.
And then that's how
both
y'all
times,
get caught up.
the mother tried to undermine me.
No, that's how y'all get caught up, and then you eventually become a baby daddy, right? Is that how it works?
I'm not. I don't have kids. I'm not a baby daddy.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying.
I've been in a relationship twice with a woman who had a child, and both times they thought it was okay to undermine me, and the father wasn't doing shit, but it's okay. They still gonna defer to him, even though I'm the one who's active teaching them and all this type of stuff. No, a man should not.
Sir, I feel like people with children should date other people with children, because you guys will be able to connect and have an unknowingly understanding when it comes to situations like that.
Okay,
so
but
I think it's great that you have that standard. If you're a man with no kids, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but Miss Annie, look, we have a very large out of wedlock birth rate. Okay, so listen, I've passed up a lot of women that I like. They were good women.
Yeah, and we also have the father is not in the home rate too. That's pretty high, and that's part of the reason why there's so many out of birth.
Okay, but
out of wedlock pregnancies, correct?
Yes, but it's from a minority of the men.
I need you to understand that I'm the type of Black woman. It's like we have to address the root cause of things, not the surface level stuff. The surface level stuff is, oh my God, there's so many unwanted or out of wedlock pregnancies. I'm gonna tell you something. When I had a father in the home, there were a lot of things that I couldn't do. I couldn't be out past 11 o'clock. My mom, she came home at like 6. She didn't have to do 2 and 3 double shifts just to make ends meet. So if she wasn't at home watching us, my dad was at home watching us. So it's like you project so much judgment onto those women and their lifestyles and things like that. But where was their father at? Why did their father leave their mother to do it all and then drop the ball when it comes to certain things like parenting? It's so easy to judge.
Chicken or egg question. That's a chicken or egg question.
Up privileged, and you need to understand that. Unfortunately, you grew up privileged in the Black community, so you need to understand that you are privileged enough to say, you know what? If mommy wasn't around, daddy was around, and if daddy wasn't around, mommy was around, and in most cases, mommy and daddy was around. So I got parenting from both parents.
Miss Yoni, this is not 1802, and this is 2022. We have information at our fingertips. The women know better. Okay, they do. They know better. Okay, the cultural pathology.
You have to understand conditioning, though. If you grow up in an environment, you can have 3 kids grow up in the same household. The parent was an alcoholic. One kid doesn't pick up a bottle because they don't want to be anything like what they saw in the parent. The next kid is an alcoholic because that's what they saw. It's a coping mechanism that they picked up on by watching their parent, right? And then the other kid used to drink, but had some issues, got into some trouble, so they don't drink anymore. Do you not understand your environment shapes your mentality and how you see things, how you carry yourself as an adult? But you're privileged. You grew up in a household where you didn't see any of that type of stuff. You didn't see violence. You didn't see your mom deal with certain type of men that you knew weren't good for her, but she kept going back to them. You don't know nothing about that, though, do you? No, you don't. So it's so easy to sit up here and judge somebody.
All right, Ms. Annie, look, we can take that same argument.
No, we need to focus on the root cause of the issues in our community.
Ms. Annie, we
it's
can
the
take
men
that
not
same.
being in the home. It's the men not leading within the home. That is the problem. Stop.
Ms. Annie, you can use the same. You can. I'm not putting it all on the women. I'm just saying more attention needs to be brought to this family planning issue.
More attention needs to be brought to the fact that these men are not home.
Miss
Where
Yanni,
are they
you
at?
could use the same argument for the Black men. Just like you say, oh, well, she didn't have a father to give her structure. You can say the same thing about the men. You can say the same thing.
Do you not understand the fear I would feel if my daddy caught me doing something I wasn't supposed to do?
Miss Yanni, I'm not disputing that. I'm saying you take that same argument and apply it to the men. You can say the same thing.
You understand that if a man is really being a father in his home, there is a certain structure that is enforced on everybody. So if that woman doesn't have that, she doesn't know anything. She doesn't even know what that life is about.
Miss Annie, you can say that about the men. You can say, hey, he doesn't have a father.
How can you get mad? How can you get mad at her for not having something that was never given to her? Like, that's insane. That's not fair.
Miss Annie.
No, it's not fair. That's not fair to her. You're literally trying to hold judgment against this woman. And it was just like, she was never given proper leadership from the beginning. How is she going to get out into the world and get men? That doesn't make sense.
You can use the same argument for the men who shirk their responsibility.
I'm going to have to drop you off, sir. I have to move on to another caller.
All right.
I need the Black community to have compassion. Like, I understand that there are issues within our community, but you can't expect for someone to give you something that they were not given. That doesn't even make sense. That's why a lot of us are generationally damaged now, is because we're expecting for our mothers or we're expecting for our fathers to give us things that were not given to them. Oh my, and then do you not understand that it's also a privilege for certain people that have the subconscious to know that ain't it, that ain't the right way, I need to go this other way? A lot of people don't even have that. It's easy to sit in a position and look down on others. It's just at a higher position and look down on everybody else. Hello, Miss Mocha Mommy, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much for adding me to your stream. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. What would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, I want to thank the family attorney for speaking about how difficult marriage is.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, I mean, I've been married for 20 years, and you said, what was it that conditions women to want marriage and to think that it's okay? And I would just say another okie doke, ladies, it's HGTV. Listen, I have a good man, but let me tell you something. This home renovation has driven us to the edge. Listen, when I read, the book, Chip Gaines, the guy who does the houses in Waco, Fixer Upper, I read his book, and he said him and his wife almost had it out over drywall. And I thought that was the silliest thing. But let me tell you something. When you have to renovate and that drywall listen, kitchen tile almost took us out. It's hard.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like you know, ceramic tile, you know, it's clean edges. But when you start dealing in natural stone like the travertine, slate, it will test the boundaries of your man. And I have a good man. And I have a good man, but it will test the boundaries.
Thank you for coming up here saying that you have a good man, because they try to make it seem like that when we hold them accountable and speak our truth from our experiences, that we are saying that there are no good men that exist. And we know that's not true.
Right. And then I know sometimes when we say we kind of idealize, you know, dating out and marrying out. And when you do have those two different cultures that come together, it gets exemplified in sometimes those challenging situations. And I definitely saw our cultural differences in this renovation. I'm just letting you know, ladies, that yes, it's a blessing and I would not trade it for the world, but please do not think that it's a walk in the park either. And that
I have to ask, what was the most challenging, or what's the most challenging part when it comes to marriage?
Just knowing that we're both two different people and we have the same goal, but how do we both get there? We have the same goal, but how do we both get there? Because both of us are bringing very different things to it. And it's like, for the most part, it's definitely been a blessing, and it's definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. But at the same time, too, I don't dismiss the fact that even though we're two people who love each other with the same goals, how to get there is the day-to-day struggle.
The day-to-day struggle. Okay, that's real. That's real, because everyone talks about the wedding day, but nobody talks about what happens after that. Is there any advice that you can give us regarding what happens after marriage that maybe you weren't really expecting?
Get ceramic tile.
So that's the
leave. I guess that's the most acute thing. I guess make sure you have enough in common, and make sure that there is enough that you actually do enjoy each other's company, because that makes it worth it. That makes it worth it. The fact that we do like a lot of the same things. And it was funny because you were kind of talking about like Black women and Asian men. And I know like on my channel, I had like done some stuff about it. And I think that people kind of missed the point, because the thing that I was trying to make sure that you know, that it's really not the race of the man, but it's just what it is you have in common and those shared common interests. And so when I was doing these subjects, now I'm not trying to put these guys on the spot, but or weaponize it, but they had a lot of the same common interests as you do as Black women. Like they have a lot of the same things, and that's what's going to really bond you. It's not really about what other men are not. It really is about who you are as a woman and who he is as a man. So if you have like a lot of those common interests, and that's why I really encourage Black women, like nurture yourself and nurture your interests, because that's what's going to bring the right guys to you.
Okay, I'm checking out your channel right now.
But yeah, and it was just like, I know like too, me and my husband, we have like a lot in common, and that's what keeps us together. Even now, you know, our kids are almost grown. So now it's just us. And had we not have common interests, what would we be together for?
I have seen so many. When I graduated high school, I started to see that there were a lot of like married people breaking up and divorcing after their kids went off to college.
Yeah.
After just freshman year of college. It wasn't even like, oh, they've been away for a few. Freshman year, their parents were divorcing.
Right. And it's just like, we just have to make it a point to make sure that we're nurturing ourselves and then nurturing those common interests. Because if we didn't have a lot in common, I mean, and then too, I think there's, you know, and then too, making sure that you guys are balancing your strengths and weaknesses and things like that. Because there's definitely things that he's strong in and I appreciate. And then there's definitely things that he will defer to me. And like I said, and that's a daily dance, you know. And again, I really encourage you ladies to not really focus on what other men are not, but focus on who it is you are. And then you're going to find that a lot of the things that you love and that you're passionate about, that bring you peace, that bring you happiness, somebody else is in that same space. You know, somebody else is in that same. And it was so interesting because, you know, when you were having the, you know, there's things I'm really passionate about. And I mean, I know it was interesting how you ladies were talking about the AMBW thing. How many of you are into like manifesting and meditating and your own mental well-being? Believe it, there's a whole population of men of other cultures who really value that.
It's normalized too. It's like their standard. It's like the unwritten rule that nobody seems to need to talk about.
Right. And it was so crazy because there's like, I mean, one of the things I love is baseball. Like, and that's no secret. I love that sport. And it's crazy. Like the number one baseball player in the world right now is a Japanese man. And one of the things he was talking about was, he was like, well, what is one of the reasons for your success? And he really pulled out the vision board he had when he was 15 years old. And how many Black women, how many of you guys are doing that?
I know.
Y'all already making the vision boards. Y'all already manifesting. Y'all are already about your physical and mental well-being, and know that there are other men who are. My encouragement is to get out of these arguments about what other men are not, but really start focusing on being a part of the communities who are about embracing who you are. Those of you who are on a wellness journey, let me tell you something. Black women are not the only people who gain weight over the quarantine. Okay, a lot of people are on this journey.
I told Black women, I'm like, now you know it's bad when the trainers are gaining weight, the fitness people.
Right. And it's like, you would be surprised. Like, let me tell you something, like some of the biggest cheerleaders I have found when it comes to getting back into shape, if you ladies are doing these boot camps, if you ladies are doing this, is that chunky white dude. Chunky white dude is in your corner.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ladies have allies out there. Like, my channel is mostly Black women, but non-Black men all the time are out there rooting for you. They're out there rooting for you. Academically, you know, because that was one of the biggest resources. When I did my Black women in STEM, one of my biggest resources was a Vietnamese man.
Oh.
Yeah. He was all about those TI 85 calculate toting Black girls when the advanced calculus class. He was there for it.
Oh, that is so sweet. You know what I mean? That's so cute.
And then, you know, a lot of you ladies are just passionate about things, about, you know, gardening, or you're passionate about your wellness, you're passionate about fitness, you're passionate about your creativity. Please, ladies, capitalize on that. Don't stop focusing on what these other men are not.
Yeah.
You know, focus on what it is you are and what it is you want, because ladies is out there for you. And if you have a low tolerance for broke dusties, guess who else has a low tolerance for broke dusties? Other men.
Yeah, no.
That's why they're over here in your space arguing with you a lot of times, because other men ain't even going to hear it. Other men don't even want to hear it. So ladies, please, you know, make sure you're prioritizing yourselves and your needs and your wants and your desires, because other people are on that same exact path.
Yes, and don't lowball them. If you want extra sauce on your steak, get extra sauce on your steak. Don't be like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm asking for too much. Ask for much and more and add tax. You should.
But you'll be surprised how many of them will just be happy, like, oh, girl, you like steak too?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's so many people who want what it is you want. So please don't apologize for it. Don't, you know, make any excuses. But ladies, just really get out there. It's not about what other men are not. It's really about who it is you are. And it's only,
I feel like it's only in the Black community where they fear-monger you to the point where if you ask for something that is out of budget, or they may feel it may be out of budget, then they kind of like try to condemn you, like, how dare you ask for that? But it's like, we're not poor. You know, like we do have money, but it's the scarcity mindset, it's the poverty mindset where people are constantly trying to tell you at every turn, that's too expensive, that's too much. Why would you need to save your money? And it's just like, but you spending that extra, it gives you comfort, it gives you leisure. Why wouldn't you spend money on that? And I kind of had that conversation earlier about the need.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I just find that really hardworking men, they like comfort and luxury just as much as you do. Like, I mean, I just think about like how much my husband spends on things like socks, how much he spends on things like cigars, how much he spends on things like, so these are not cheap things. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and when we go out to eat, he don't want to eat at the drive-thru. after he's worked as hard as he's worked,
Right.
you know, he's put in 10, 11 hours at his job, and then he comes home and, you know, works on some home improvement projects. And he's like, I don't feel like, you know, I don't, you know, and I'm like, I don't feel like cooking because we've been doing all this and our kitchen's a mess. He don't want to eat no place cheap.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that kitchen renovation, we ate out a lot. He didn't want to eat at Chick-fil-A. He didn't want to eat at the drive-thru.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, a lot of these guys, they don't want to listen. Please stop thinking that you're being materialistic, because a lot of these men, they don't want to drink.
No, I need Black women to understand.
They don't want to drink
like,
bottom shelf liquor neither.
Quality attracts quality, y'all. I'm experiencing it right now. Quality attracts quality. How you carry yourself, how you put yourself together, how you dress, it attracts quality. That is the major change I have seen in my dating life and just my overall life. Like even with friends, when it comes to like getting around the right people. I've also noticed that. Like I went from a friend group where everyone would talk about creating this type of lifestyle, and now I'm part of a friend group where people are actually being what they actually want to be. I think there was one room that I was in, I'm pretty sure there was well over $1 million in that room, and we were all in our 30s, early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, ladies, it's like, please just, you know, get out of the zip code, get out of the mindset, get out of get out of the arguments with these people. Like, if you think the men you want are not even going to entertain any of these men or their mindsets. No. Like, I just remember, like, when the suited content creator came up, it was my dad who told me this a long time ago. My dad was like, listen, there are wealthy Black people, and then there's just niggas with some money.
Ooh.
2 minutes into the conversation, you're going to know who you're talking to. Mm-hmm. And I was like 11 or 12 when he told me that. Mm-hmm. And you know, it was like when you're doing like the cotillion thing when you're younger, if you grew up in that scene. And I understand now more than anything what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And because you're going to understand, like, guys who are captains of industry, who are leading in their job, they're not talking about how much you spent at the steakhouse. They're at the steakhouse anyway. They're not eating McDonald's. Mm-mm. If you're clocking it like that, they're not eating cheap. Mm-mm. So, you know, that's probably the restaurant down the street from their house. Stop. Ladies, stop. Like, definitely do what you got to do. Be passionate about what you're passionate about. If you love art or music or wellness or mental health or meditation, please capitalize on that, because the men who are looking for women like that are out there looking for women like that.
Yes. And then they don't have to look over you and hold your hand while you're doing this, and this. They like women that they know how to be independent on their own. I noticed that whenever I would talk to like non-Black men, they would always be like, I always felt like whenever I dated a white woman or a woman within their community, they always felt like they had to like entertain her. But they like dealing with Black women because it's like Black women, we entertain ourselves. We'll go find something to do. We're independent in that nature. But for other women, they're very dependent on a man to just even entertain them.
Right. And you know, one thing was so interesting is like a lot of things that men like about you ladies, because trust me, they always are asking, do you have any single friends? Is your sister single? You have any single cousin? They're always asking. Is they like how decisive you are. Mm. They like when you say what you want. Mm-hmm. They like when you say, oh, I don't like sushi. Okay, that makes it easier for me. Like they would prefer for you to speak up a lot of times. A lot of men who are decisive and firm in who they are, like a woman who's secure in who she is. Like, I know my husband, a lot of people were surprised because we're very close in age, because he would always date women who were older than him, simply because he liked it when they made up their mind. Mm-hmm. He said one of the best dates he had ever been on, what made him started dating older women, when he took a woman to the restaurant, she said where she wanted to eat, and then she didn't even look at the menu when she ordered because she knew what she wanted. And he was like, that is what impressed him the most about dating older. And I was like, wow, that's interesting how men like women who know what they want. So
no, the only time I've seen like an older male that wants to get with a woman is because she's naive, or a younger woman is because she's naive. She doesn't know what she wants. And so they see that as, oh, I can control her. I can get her to do what I want her to do since she's indecisive on what she wants to do. So even as a young woman, you need to be sure about what you want. And if you have to take time out by not dating for a while to figure that out, then do that. And then put yourself back out there and be confident in the things that you want. So then you're not being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I agree. And I think too, like the midlife crisis is very real, you know, because I mean, and it's just very interesting how people talk about, you know, women and value, and you don't have value when you get older. But I'm in my mid 40s now. Almost all of us in our mid 40s, a lot of us had to get rid of a lot of our social media because there's always some ex-boyfriend, old colleague trying to get back in your good graces. But by this time, your kids are almost grown and you don't want to put up with that mess no more.
Right.
And I think that's why they're picking on a lot of you younger women, like, because older women are done.
Yeah.
Like, we either are settled in our relationships or we just done. Like,
or we not listening to the BS. That's why I'm like, y'all really be sitting up here listening to these men?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like we are, you know, like you said, and when you talked about women in their 50s wanting peace, like, you know, and it's not that we're like low value or leftover. It's just that nobody wants to deal with that.
Hey,
Nobody
Samantha.
wants to deal with that. I love her channel.
I love her channel too. I love, adore Samantha.
But so just ladies, please, I just want to encourage you to just put yourself out there because the guys are out there and they be asking me about y'all. So get out there then.
Before I let you go, what do you feel we as Black women should do when we put ourselves out there to attract?
Don't be shy in initiating conversation about things that you are passionate about or even things you have questions about. Okay. Because I think that sometimes I think men, especially men, are a little bit less
oh no, what happened?
How non-Black women have weaponized the whole Me Too thing, right? If you kind of can initiate conversation, I think a lot of men appreciate that. Not being thirsty, but initiating conversation. And also too, even if you're not completely competent in any subject matter, it's okay to reveal that. Because I feel like as Black women, we think we got to hit it on all 6 cylinders all the time. We have to be an expert in everything because the expectations of us are very high. But it's okay to be vulnerable and not know. It's okay to not know how to use that weight machine. It's okay to go to the sports bar and not know the score or the object of the game. And it's okay to go to a restaurant or a coffee shop or a bar and not know certain items on the menu. And because there are people who want to share what they're passionate about with you and don't have a problem with, I guess, maybe wanting to teach you and wanting to share that with you. So
men love, I don't care what they say, men love teaching you new things.
They sure do. They do.
They do. I always, whenever I go out on a date, especially first date, I always allow the man to order what he thinks I would like. They like that type of stuff.
Yeah, they definitely do. So don't feel that it's not okay to be vulnerable or to not know everything. It's okay to not know everything because especially if it's something they're really interested in, they would love to share that with you. So ladies, please just continue to put yourselves out there because like so much of what you want is out there for you for the taking. So I just wanted to encourage you.
Well, thank you, Miss Mocha Mommy. You guys should check out her channel if you're interested. Mocha Mommy on YouTube. Check out her content. Was there anything else? Oh, she just dropped off. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna log out, you guys. I'm exhausted and I still have to go somewhere later. So this was great. We should do this again. Sorry if I didn't get to you. I will see you next time if you wanted to come up here and speak. You know, I like listening to what you guys have to say. It puts, you know, new perspectives for me because I learn from you guys, hopefully just as much as you learn from me, and we can just learn from each other. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully you guys are not working too hard, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.